And, well, down there, we should be getting a little bit of action, I'm hearing, so we can rejoin Chris Kinley.
Yeah, the Derek Nicholson, Stan Derricker, of course, a stalwart of the south of the island, being a police inspector for many, many years in Castletown, very heavily involved in the Southern 100 Club, and his speeches at the Southern 100 annual dinner were legendary, absolutely brilliant. As you can hear in the background, we do now have machines coming in, and the stand that is named after Derricker is there. And the people inside that will be getting out of the wind as number 4, Mike Hose, rolls past us, 21. Will Loader in there too. Should be a good race, this, to be fair. Looking at lap records, Tom Herbertson has this at a 96.8. I'm just going to keep everything out of the wind. We had problems with the rain, but it's the wind that's going to be the problem tonight. 53 is right next to us there. 53 is, of course, down the page we go, is Ian Thompson. Number 11, Stevie Elliott's about to roll past us as well. Trying not to get run over by young Steve. Looking smart machines. They always look really well on the Kent Rutter 500. And I've stood the other side, and you can actually feel, I'm stood next to one of the old Mankstone walls, and you can actually feel the Mankstone wall rattling with the machines. It's just absolutely incredible, the noise down here. And I've got these little linear headphones that are on, and even those are rattling. It's that loud. Just going to go past there, Nigel Moore, I think this is. Sneak past Nigel on the 84 machine. He could be one of the favourites for this to run well. Number 7, Harley Rushton on the classic Craven Classic Manx. He should be good on the Sealy. Sorry, yeah, he's on the 500 Sealy on that one. He's just having a quick tap to Alan Oversby. And then, of course, with that win last night on the Ruthless Racing Machine, they were happy. I'm sure they're going to have some party to celebrate that. So it's numbers 2 and number 7 on the front row. Next to them should be Nigel Moore. He's just back a little bit, so he will be there. Next row will be 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen, 21, Will Loader, and 32, Kelly Carruthers. They're the 3 front rows, and 36 just has a problem with the machine there, so he's just going to have to get it fired up again. We'll keep a little eye on this on the 36. The Traveller Marshals are down there. Traveller Marshal 6, I think it is, yeah. That's Darren Slew, former rider, raced down here, raced up with Derby for many years too. It's number 36 managed to get it fired as of yet, not yet. But they have got the rolling road down here to be able to get the thing fired. Looks like it has got fired, so they're going to get the rolling road out there now. Let's get out of the way of this. Machines are now leaving. And number 7 is the first one to go. Such a great, not only a sight and a sound, and luckily for you guys who are listening further afield, well, lucky for you, you're listening to it, but also the fact you can smell it. I can smell it as well. So 36, we'll keep an eye on this. Hopefully he's going to get that thing fired. Yeah, she fires up easy enough. So Geoffrey Vermeulen is away. So here we go with the first race of a sun-kissed Sunday afternoon on the Isle of Man. It's the 500 Senior Classics, sponsored, of course, by the LLC Group. So excellent stuff for them, the Greystones LLC guys. But let's get out to Cross Four Ways for the sighting lab.
You can hear that rumble from a couple of miles away, so that's going to build quite significantly once that convoy reaches Cross Four Ways on this sighting lab. Just a little reminder then of some of the times we saw in the second qualifying session for these machines in dry conditions yesterday afternoon. A little disclaimer, this is not representative of the actual grid positions. That is different to the qualifying times. So number 84, Nigel Moore, was quickest in the previous session, the second qualifying session for these. A best time of 2 minutes 53.035. That was the benchmark. Then second quickest was the one we just heard from there, number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen. Just struggled for a moment to get things going, but the rolling road doing its job. Third quickest was number 21, Will Loader, just half a second back off the pace of Geoffrey Vermeulen. Vermeulen, incidentally, 2.3 seconds off the pace of Nigel Moore in that previous qualifying session. Fourth quickest, just a smidge behind Will Loader at 0.07 seconds, was number 32, Kelly Carruthers. And completing the top 5 was number 39, Tomo Burnett, 3.1 seconds further back on Carruthers. A best time of 2 minutes 59.171. All of the top 5 managed sub 3 minutes best qualifying times as well. And we saw a dramatic lift in the pace in that dry session compared to the first wet session on Friday evening. Most of them in the region between the likes of 20 and 40 seconds quicker. As we can see, the first machine's heading towards us, led by the travelling marshal. So here is your convoy. Leading that convoy is one to potentially watch out for us on number 7, Harley Rushton, Alan Oversby, Carruthers, Loader and Heffernan Owen. number 39 Thomas Burnett as well, so they've just opened up a little bit to the next scutch of machines in behind, led by number 11 Stephen Elliott, who was 7th quickest in there as well. Number 47 Russell Robury in the top 10 fastest times in the previous qualifying session. There's the aforementioned number 84 Nigel Moore, number 4 Mike Hose, number 53 Ian Thompson, number 69 Gary Abbott, number 17 Andrew Guy, number 20 Gary Hutton, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more at the back of that little field. Number 9 Chris McGahn. There's number 26 on one of the red plates, Dennis Booth out there as well, so maybe just giving a bit of dispensation for a sighting lap as the two travelling marshals following at the back of the convoy. So those are your machines on this sighting lap through Cross Four Ways heading towards Church Bends, and then on that big sweeping run through and past Great Meadow into that fast left-hander, that entertaining left-hander over at Stadium as well. Just quickly, we'll take a look through what the rest of the top 10 was from that session. Number 16 Owen Monaghan was 8th quickest, 4 seconds off Stephen Elliott, we've just mentioned before. Number 11 47 Russell Robury, 9th quickest, 3 minutes 7.329 a best time, and then completing the top 10 fastest times in that previous qualifying session. Number 17 Andrew Guy with the best time of 3 minutes 7.421. He might have a bit of work to do though if he wants to get through the field, starting on the 5th row. So first race of the day, back to you, Tim.
Yeah, we can hear the rumble of classic engines as the travelling marshal just goes through past the marshal at the start-finish line with the red flag there just to stop them. And number 7, Harley Rushton, is into position. The rest of the machines there, Alan Oversby is on that pole position. Nigel Moore, number 84, just making his way to the front as steam railway train makes its way under the tunnel and towards us here from the start. And number 4 Mike Hose is riding through, so he is an early retirement. Mike Hose is a non-starter here, and even though they're holding the flags out, there's still the marshals waving at the train as it goes past. So we wait to see the red flag change to a green flag at the back of the grid. That will mean that everybody is in position, and the green flag waves, so the board goes up. Engage gear, flipped around, watch the lights, the revs go up, and that's a strong start by Harley Rushton in the middle of the front row. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, he's a big lad, is Harley, on the number 7 machine, the Craven Matchless. Let's see what he's got. It says Matchless, but it's Seeley. I think he's on it. But it's Oversby, Loader, and then Rushton. Oversby, Loader, and Rushton were your top 3 when they went past us. He might have got a good start, but it's Alan Oversby who's got to the front.
It's amazing how much can change just in that short stretch of tarmac from here down to the clubhouse where Chris Kinley is stationed. Just a word, the delay was due to the digital or electronic checkered flag or red flag system that we've got now here on the start-finish straight. It isn't working. They've been trying to fix it for a good hour, so they've had to brief all the competitors that will not be working at the end of races, and more checkered flags have been distributed. So that was the reason for the delay we're hearing from race control. The briefing has been made, and there'll be more checkered flags on display here from the start line. It'll all be done manually, and the competitors are now clued up and will be watching out for that, rather than just relying as well on the electronic system that's in here, the digital system. So that was the reason for the delay. So Mike Hose, a non-starter, not being the best of returns to the Motor Isle Billown Course so far for Mike, but is Oversby the man to make history? We'll find out shortly. Let's go to Cross Four Ways. Rob Pritchard.
And as the volume rises, we await for the first machines. I've just got to say here at Cross Four Ways, it is packed with spectators today. It's great to see 2 machines have made a break for it into Cross Four Ways. It's number 7, Harley Rushton, leading the freight train of noise. And number 2, Alan Oversby. Number 21, Will Loaders. Number 36, 84, 32. 100 only time for numbers here. 11, 39, 16 and 47 in that particular order. Then it's number 9, Chris McGahn, who's opened up a gap to 4 more machines, led by number 75, Neil Lloyd, on the way through. At the back of that quartet, number 53, 20, 92, 69, 98 at the back of that is Brian Appleton as the travelling marshals come through. So there we are, cross four ways on the opening lap of this Greystones LLC 500cc Senior Classic. It is Harley Rushton who's just edged ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby. We heard Harley Rushton had a good start. Alan Oversby got back on him to take the whole shot, but it is Rushton again who now leads at cross four ways from Alan Oversby. In behind as well, there's a group of around 4 or 5 machines gaggling for that third place spot at the moment. So plenty of laps still to go, plenty to still be decided, but those two have just started to make a break from the rest of the group. To you, Tim.
Yes, a gaggle of bikes spotted on the bridge, and they come over the rise, and here we go. It is 7, 2, 36, 84, 32, 100, 39, 11, 16 and 47. So it is Harley Rushton that leads. He's 0.430 of a second ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby. 2.4 back on Oversby. In third is number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen. Fourth is number 84, Nigel Moore. Fifth is 32, Kelly Carruthers. Sixth is number 100, Heffin Owen. Seventh, number 39, Tomo Burnett. Eighth is number 11, Stephen Elliott. Ninth is number 16, that's Owen Monaghan. 10th is number 47, Russell Robury. 11th, number 9, Chris McGahn. 12th is 75, Neil Lloyd. 13th is number 17, Andrew Guy. 14th, number 53, Ian Thompson. 15th, number 82, Andy McAllister. 16th is number 21, Will Loader, who's dropped back. So something must have happened there with Will. 17th, number 20, Gary Hutton. 18th, number 92, Stephen Walsh. 19th, number 69, Gary Abbott. And 20th, number 98, Brian Appleton. But it's the man who got the good start, number 7, Harley Rushton, who's just got his nose in front of number 2, Alan Oversby in second. And then it's Geoffrey Vermeulen, 2.4 back in third. Let's go to cross four ways, Rob Pritchard.
And those front two as well from a standing start are only around 4 seconds off the pace of qualifying as well. Number 2, Alan Oversby. Nice little manoeuvre there to get in front. Number 7, Harley Rushton. Oh, but he's just run on a little bit there at cross four ways. So Harley Rushton retakes the lead. There's number 36 for Vermeulen, number 84, Nigel Moore, and number 32, Kelly Carruthers as well. 100, Heffin Owen next into cross four ways from number 39, Tomo Burnett as well. Then there's number 11, Stephen Elliott, on the way through cross four ways. But there's the news again at cross four ways. Rushton and Oversby battling away. And as Oversby made the overtake, as number 16 makes his way through, that's Owen Monaghan. Number 9, Chris McGahn. Number 21, Will Loader, who we've heard has moved down the order slightly. Number 17, Andrew Guy. And then number 82, Andy McAllister on the Trixton Honda. So Alan Oversby, he made the manoeuvre on Rushton into cross four ways, but just didn't quite seem to get it right. He ran wide at the corner, allowing Rushton to retake the lead, and Oversby has got work to do as 4 more machines interview at cross four ways, and just behind them is number 98, Brian Appleton. That could be a big moment in this race for Harley Rushton. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if one bike emerges. Got a lead now. It is number 7, Harley Rushton, 91.161. There's Oversby, so he's lost a shed load of time there. Third is still Geoffrey Vermeulen, number 36. Fourth is 84, Nigel Moore. And in fifth, it's 32, Kelly Carruthers. There's 100, Heffin Owen, and 39, Tomo Burnett. That is 11, Stephen Elliott. He's through in 8th position. 2 more bikes emerge over the brow. Tight line in close here to the commentary box as number 16, Owen Monaghan, and 21 now up into 10th place is Will Loader. So he's recovering from whatever happened, an overshoot maybe at Ballachagan or at Ballabeg, or well, it was before cross four ways. But 82, Andy McAllister is 13th. 14th is 53, Ian Thompson, and 15th and up into 15th is number 20, Gary Hutton. Then it's Gary Abbott, Stephen Walsh and Brian Appleton. After Loader in 11th is number 9, Chris McGahn, and up into 12th is number 17, Andrew Guy. But it's Harley Rushton that now has a 4.891 second lead over Oversby, 91.161 miles per hour for Rushton. Oversby 88.801 miles per hour. Vermeulen in third, 88.502 miles per hour. Let's go to Robert, cross four ways.
Yeah, that overshoot across 4 ways on the last lap clearly really hampering Alan Oversby's progress there after he'd initially just got his nose in front. Now out all alone at the front here is number 7, Harley Rushton, into cross 4 ways on this third lap, and a good few seconds still behind number 2, Alan Oversby. He's got a lot of work to do in this 7-lap race to try and catch Rushton. This is a great battle here for third. 84, Nigel Moore ahead, number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen, and number 32, Kelly Carruthers there. So number 84, Nigel Moore, has moved up into the podium positions on lap 3 as it stands. Ahead of number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen. Here's number 39, Tom Burnett, and number 100, Heffernan Owen as well. But keep an eye on number 32, Kelly Carruthers, as number 11, Stephen Elliott, comes through cross 4 ways on this third lap. And number 21, Will Loader, looking to still make up some ground here on the near 3-mile point of this course. Number 16, Owen Monaghan, is through as well, but Harley Rushton clear daylight out front at the moment from number 2, Alan Oversby. It's that battle for third, with number 84, Nigel Moore, moving into third position as 2 more head through cross 4 ways. But number 32, Kelly Carruthers, there's number 82 through cross 4 ways. That battle for third's a big one. To you, Tim.
Yeah, well, here he is, the race leader, Harley Rushton. What's the lead going to be? It was 4.8. And it is 3.9, so Oversby is nibbling away at the lead of Harley Rushton. Here's the third place battle. And Nigel Moore, who was in third, is now fifth, because Geoffrey Vermeulen, number 36, is back up into third. Kelly Carruthers is up into fourth, and Nigel Moore is fifth. Tomo Burnett has moved ahead up into sixth position, ahead of Heffernan Owen, who's now in 7th position. And in 8th, it's number 11, Stephen Elliott. And 9th now is number 21, Will Loader. So Rushton has a 3.960 advantage over Oversby, 7 leading 2. Rushton's fastest lap was on lap 2 at 91.161, but Oversby, with a bit between his teeth, no doubt a little bit of anger at the mistake he made, fastest of the race so far at 91.344 miles per hour. Little bit off the lap record of Dominic Herbertson at 96.067 miles per hour. So after Loader, 10th, we've got number 16, Owen Monaghan. 11th is number 9, Chris McGahn. 12th, number 17, Andrew Guy. But that's as far as we can go. Is Oversby on the charge? Let's go to cross 4 ways.
We'll find out in a couple of moments, but those front 2, Harley Rushton and Alan Oversby, are lapping at around 5 seconds a lap quicker than the rest of the field at the moment. Their nearest challenges. Here's number 7, Harley Rushton. Number 2, Alan Oversby. He's gained ground, I'm going to say it, going into cross 4 ways on lap 4. So Alan Oversby is starting to reel in. Number 7, Harley Rushton, just a little bit at the moment across 4 ways, but that gap is ever extending. Here's the battle for third. 3 machines together. Who's first through cross 4 ways? It's number 36, Vermeulen, from 84, Nigel Moore, from number 32, Kelly Carruthers, but virtually nothing to separate them. What's it like on the exit? Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like Geoffrey Vermeulen's been able to hold that onto that third place, but Kelly Carruthers and Nigel Moore are not letting him have it easy there, but they've broken a little bit away from this man, number 39, Tomo Burnett, who in turn is a couple of seconds ahead of number 100, Heffernan Owen. He's just managing to keep number 21, Will Loader, at bay. Another one of the machines trying to make up a little bit of ground after that start. Here's 11, Stephen Elliott, and then the field goes quiet a little bit, but Harley Rushton still leading across 4 ways, but it definitely looked like, from my perspective, number 2, Alan Oversby, has closed that gap. To you, Tim.
Well, just shy of 4 seconds it was. Here's the leader, and here's the second place. It is tighter, 1.991 seconds now separate Rushton from Oversby. 7 leads 2, and a fastest lap in the race again by Oversby, 92.108 miles per hour. That's the ever-changing battle for third. It's still 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen in third, but up into fourth now is number 84, Nigel Moore, and down to fifth is number 32, that is Kelly Carruthers. There's 39, Tomo Burnett. So the Ramsey man having a much better day. Will Loader is now up into 7th, number 21, 88.815 the last lap there from Loader. 8th is number 100 Hefin Owen, and 9th is number 11 Stephen Elliott. But Oversby is closing and closing as every lap goes by following that overshoot at Cross Four Ways. He's less than 2 seconds now behind the race leader, who is still Harley Rushton, number 7, 2 together, very close here. 9 Chris McGahn is just ahead of number 17 Andrew Guy in 10th and 11th places respectively, and in 12th is number 82 Andy McAllister. Are we having the same race leader now at Cross Four Ways? Let's find out. Rob Pritchard.
Alan Oversby making things up at a rate of knots, yet that last lap compared to Harley Rushton was just under 2 seconds quicker. It is number 7 Harley Rushton leading again at Cross Four Ways, but number 2 Alan Oversby still bearing down on him here. As we heard, the gap had come down at the start finish line, so maybe just the grunt of that Alan Oversby machine, the Ruthless Racing Honda, just starting to pay dividends on some of those straights as they both make their way towards Church Bends. So that could be a big telling one down past the Great Meadow and into Stadium, who knows. Here is the battle for third. Number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen. Number 84, Nigel Moore. And just dropping back a second or so is number 32, Kelly Carruthers on the way through. What does it look like on the exit here? Yeah, so number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen, still holding on to third from number 84, Nigel Moore. Then just dropping back a second or two, number 32, Kelly Carruthers, who did just seem to look down to the right-hand side of that machine. So maybe just something that Kelly's got to think about. There's number 39, Tomo Burnett. And number 21, Will Loader. Number 21, Will Loader really has been making his way steadily up as number 100 Hefin Owen arrives. So Will Loader pushing forward as well. Back to you, Tim.
Looking up to School Hill Rise, one machine, now a second interview. It's still Rushton, but there's Oversby, 1.346 miles per hour. Rushton has definitely got the hurry up. His quickest lap, 92.239 miles per hour. Oversby, though, even quicker, 92.599 miles per hour. So there we go. Rushton has retired at the paddock. Rushton has now retired, we're hearing. So Oversby is on for race win number 16. 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen is in third, but he's only just ahead of number 84, Nigel Moore, and in fifth, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. So we can tell you number 7, Harley Rushton, who's led from the start of this race, has been forced to retire. There's 39, Tomo Burnett, and right on his tail now is number 21, Will Loader. Number 100, Hefin Owen, is also through as well. At 11, Stephen Elliott across the line. He's in 9th position, but the race leader, Harley Rushton, is out, which gives an enormous advantage to our new race leader, number 2, Alan Oversby, who picked up his 15th win yesterday. He's looking to make it 16 today. Well, he's around about 22 seconds ahead of third place Vermeulen, and the second place now Vermeulen, and that battle for the podium. Let's go out to Rob.
Yeah, such a shame for Harley Rushton, and Alan Oversby will have seen that ahead of him, won't he, as well? Harley Rushton pulling in to the pits there, so he might know that all he has to do at this point is just keep things nice and steady, given the gap behind him. Here is your new race leader, number 2, Alan Oversby, after that retirement. If you missed it in the last few moments with Tim there and you're just joining us, Alan Oversby's rival out at the front, Harley Rushton, who's been leading this race up to this point, a retirement on the last lap. But interestingly, that battle for third we've been talking about is now a battle for second and third. So there's 2 podium places up for grabs with that trio that are battling away. 2 emerge towards us here at Cross Four Ways. Number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen, up into second. Number 84, Nigel Moore, up into third. Dropping a couple of seconds back again is number 32, Kelly Carruthers here. So Kelly Carruthers with a little bit of work to do with just a couple of laps to go here. It's number 36, Geoffrey Vermeulen, therefore, who is up into second, as he was at the start finish as well, but right on his coattails. Number 84, Nigel Moore. Kelly Carruthers dropping back. To you, Tim.
Some of the lower order riders have just gone through, and Oversby's not going to be far off behind them as he sets out on his final lap here of the Motor Isle Billown Course. We are waiting for a bike to emerge, and is this him? It is indeed. And he just takes notes. You could see him looking towards the flagman there, and he's noted the last lap flag out at Oversby. Well, he's up into the lead, of course, because Harley Rushton, before his retirement, did cross the line here at the end of lap 5 in the lead. So, effectively, a new race leader. There's number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. So he has stolen a march on in that battle there for second place. There's 32 through. And there is number 84, and I've got a feeling that 84 is about to retire. He seemed to be pointing that he was going to be coming in, pointing to the officials, so that should be the top 3 that we're going to have: Oversby, Vermeulen and Carruthers. Oversby's lead is 20.3. The fastest lap there from an 84, confirmed, just as I felt, is a retirement. He has pulled in down at the clubhouse there. Will Loader, what a race he's having. Up into 5th place now is number 21, Will Loader. 6th for the number 39, Tomo Burnett. And in 7th, it's number 100, Heffin Owen. 8th for number 11, Stephen Elliott. So, well, Alan Oversby is looking to make a little bit of history here. He's level at the moment on 15 victories with Bob Heath. He could be about to join Bill Swallow on 16 victories at this meeting. Let's go out to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, final lap. We could just see a couple of riders here towards the back of the order. So that's numbers 69, 92 and 98. So we've got Gary Abbott, Stephen Walsh and Brian Appleton towards the back there. And here is your race leader on the final lap, number 2, Alan Oversby. As Tim mentions, could be making a little bit of history with this race if he keeps going on the pace that he's at the moment into Cross Four Ways for the final time in this session. We've just heard about Will Loader there. In fact, actually, when we just after we'd rejoined him, Will Loader had already made the pass before Cross Four Ways on number 39, Tomo Burnett. He's a man on a mission. Here's number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen, all alone in second at the moment at Cross Four Ways. Now it's a wait to see in that battle for third what's been going on. We did hear from Tim, though, the number 84, Nigel Moore, retirement on the last lap. Here's your third place machine at the moment, number 32, Kelly Carruthers, who seemed to be out of that battle somewhat in the last couple of laps as well. But with number 84, Nigel Moore's retirement, he is now up into the podium places as it stands. So it's as you were on the previous lap. Number 2, Alan Oversby, some distance ahead, number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. There's number 21, Will Loader as well. So Will Loader on the way through ahead of number 39, Tomo Burnett. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much. May have called a little early, but we don't want to miss our race winner here as we strain our eyes up. And 69, 92 across the line. There's 98. And here is our winner. It is Alan Oversby, a 16th victory at the Pre-TT Classic Racers. What an achievement that is for Alan Oversby. His second of this week, and he punched the air in delight as he crossed the line. There's number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. He's confirmed in second, and we'll just hold on and see if it is going to be Kelly Carruthers that is going to be confirmed in third place. And there he is, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. But Oversby is now level with Bill Swallow on 16 victories, the second most successful rider at the Blackford Pre-TT Classic Road Races. Chris Kinley.
Yeah, very, very happy as Alan when he came in a winning margin of 13.1 seconds and another, 20-odd seconds back to Kelly Carruthers, confirmed in that third place. But I'm sure Harley Rushton and the Craven team will be having a long look at that, because obviously they've got to think further ahead to the other series that they're doing. And, of course, looking forward to the Manx Grand Prix on that machine. To Alan in there with 16 wins around the Billown circuit now at this meeting. He takes a long slug of juice. Pushed hard, and we'll find out what the detail on. Sorry, Julie, just to jump in. And Alan, 16 wins around here now. Get your head one ahead of Bill Swallow. That's all right, isn't it?
That'll do, yeah.
Talk us through the race. You and Harley were at it. You kind of dropped back a little bit. What happened?
I tried out breaking him at Cross Four Ways. That wasn't a good idea, really.
You were catching him back, though.
Yeah, well, I had to reel him back in, drive me harder. So I was catching him, but then he had a misfire and then he pulled in.
Yeah, You could obviously see him just past us here now. Talk us through conditions down there. That wind, is that affecting the little bike?
Not really, no.
No, it's not bad.
No, I can't really feel it out there.
At least it's dry.
Yeah, makes a change.
How's it feel though? 16 wins now. You're just behind Mike Hose and Bill Swallow. That's some good company to be in, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, really happy with that.
He's still around here somewhere, Bill. I've seen him knocking around.
Yeah, I've seen him knocking about. Yeah.
He's on good form.
Aye.
Good man. Well done. Thanks, buddy.
Chris.
Cheers. Well done. Yeah, cheers. And 13 seconds back in second place is Jeffrey Vermeulen. We'll grab a quick chat with Jeff if we can. We'll just get round the back here, guys. We're dancing there. Jeffrey, how was that? Okay?
Yeah, great to be second. I thought I was third, but then the Craven.
That had a problem. He disappeared. But to get second place around here on the Billown circuit, what's the circuit conditions like? All good, dry, all good.
Yeah, better than the whole weekend was. Yeah, the best we had.
It's all been terrible, isn't it? Do you enjoy riding in the rain? Or are you not bothered?
No, not over here. Normally I do on the closed circuit, but not over here on the roads.
What do you think of the Billown circuit in general? Good.
Except the bumps, it's great.
That's a road circuit. It's got to be bumpy, but a second place behind Alan, that's okay.
It's great. It's great. More than I expected.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, so third place. We'll have a little look at the details, and that's Kelly Carruthers. There we are. Happy. Don't let him sit in your bike. You want to be riding it again. How's that, Kelly? Okay?
Hard work.
Very hard work.
Yeah.
Was it that tough?
Yeah, it was pushing quite hard, I thought. Yeah. I was just trying to keep with Nigel and the chap ahead of him, and that was as quick as I've ever been around here. So
I'll give you a lap. Your fastest lap was a 2:52.37.
Yeah, and then just lucky that the lads broke down in front of us. So.
I'm sure you've been there before in races where you've been up a bit further up and then had to drop back or because of bikes, but it's classic racing, isn't it?
Classic racing, isn't it? Yeah, just glad to finish.
That's not your first podium here, though, is it? I think it is your first podium. It is. Well done on that.
Thanks very much.
Well done. Enjoy. Get up on the podium. Enjoy. Well done, buddy. Cheers. Thank you. So there's the top three. I think we are going to get straight into the presentation, Tim, which obviously the guys from Greystones LLC are going to do for us once again. Thank you, Greystones team. How are you? Is all right? All good? Brilliant stuff. Should have put your coat on, gal. It's cold down here. So, right, here we go. The final machine of Kelly Carruthers has been rolled up into it, and his first podium on the Motor Isle Billown circuit. We'll go back to you, Tim, just to tidy this up in a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to the Greystones guys, please. Thank you. Thank you to the Greystones supporting this event. And his first podium on the Billown circuit for number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Well done to Kelly. Excellent stuff. Gets the hat and gets the champagne. In second place, 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. And the winner of the Greystones LLC Senior Classic. 16 wins around the circuit now for Alan Oversby. So well done to our top three. Well done to Kelly Carruthers, Jeffrey Vermeulen and Alan Oversby. Thanks to Greystones once again. And back to you, Tim, to tidy up.
Well, if you get a chance, Chris, to have a word with 21 Will Loader, there's some story behind his race, but he finished in fourth place in the end. So a terrific fight back after he dropped way down the leaderboard at the end of lap one. So it's Oversby with the win. He finished 13.1 seconds ahead of 36 Jeffrey Vermeulen, who got stronger and stronger as the race went on. Oversby's fastest lap, 92.599. Vermeulen 89.801 on that final lap, and 32 Kelly Carruthers in third. 21 Will Loader was in fourth. 39 Tomo Burnett was in fifth. Sixth is number 100 Heffin Owen. Seventh number 11 Stephen Elliott. Eighth was number 17 Andrew Guy. Ninth was number 53 Ian Thompson. 10th was number 20 Gary Hutton. 11th number 92, and number 92 is Stephen Walsh. 12th was number 69 Gary Abbott, and in 13th was number 98 Brian Appleton. So they were the only finishers. We had a whole host of retirements: 7 Harley Rushton, 9 Chris McGahn, 16 Owen Monaghan, 47 Russell Robury, and 75 Neil Lloyd, as well, of course, as 84 Nigel Moore, who was very much in contention for a podium place. So Travelling Marshal just goes through, so it is just the 13 finishers in our opening race, the Greystones LLC 500cc Senior Classic. Well, we've got a chance. We'll look ahead to our next race and give you as much information in advance as we can while the roads are quiet. And it is race 6, the Words and Spaces Printers 250 Classic and 125 Post Classic race. 6 laps for this. The 250s are green plates with white numbers, and the 125s are black plates with white numbers. 6 laps, so it's 25.5 miles, the duration for this. And we have the following grid for you. On pole would be number 16, Owen Monaghan, and joining him on the front row will be number 40, Barry Davidson, and number 4, Mike Hose. Second row is 57, Ewan Hamilton, 12, Richard Ford, and 55, Rhys Callister. Third row is number 34, Billy Cummins, number 15, Bob Doughty, and number 10, Andy Hunt. The fourth row is number 73, Joris Vastenackels, 94, Terence Sansom, and number 63, Angela Cragg. Fifth row is number 23, Adrian Kershaw, number 76, Roy Phipps, and number 71, Richard Boole. This course inspection car goes through. And the sixth row, 2 bikes there, number 70, Jeff Bates, and number 8, Dan Sale. So there is just one non-starter. It's pages 50 and 51 of your race programme, and the non-starter is number 87, Brian Mattia. So that gets that information out front and centre for everyone. Of course, Mike Hose is the winningest, if that's the right word, rider around here at this meeting with 21. He's got a front row start here as well. On that front row, he's been quite well down the grids because of a few issues during practice and qualifying for him. So let's go to Rob Pritchard out at Cross Four Ways for his reflections on what we've just seen. A little bit of history with Oversby now tied in second place with Bill Swallow, and he's 1 ahead now of Bob Heath. Those are legendary names that he can now mix in those circles. In fact, we won't go to Cross Four Ways. We'll head straight back down to Chris Kinley.
I think Mike Hose has actually done something wrong because he's just not having any luck. That's twice now he's had to be pulled off the grid before the start of races. So hopefully not in this one where he is on the number 4 machine, just on the outside of pole position. And we'll maybe just grab him and just find out what the problem was, the little one ding. He's just speaking to Barry Davison there. He's still got the wets in it. Have you kicked a cat or something?
Ah, yeah.
Get much luck, are you?
Not this time, am I?
What happened to it?
It's just gone on to 1 cylinder, and then we picked the wet tyres for this one. So, another wrong one.
Just get it round, get it home, mate.
All right.
Cheers, buddy, cheers. So there we go. So that's why he didn't make the start of the last one. So a mixture of 125s in here. Got Barry Davis next to him on number 40. He's on a 125 with the black plates. To differentiate, the black plates with the white numbers is the 125s, all right? The 250 class, green plates with the white numbers, and that's number 57. You can just hear in the background, that's Ewan Hamilton on the 57. So there's 2 separate classes in here, 250s and 125s. And of course, the old original NSR or the NS 125s are now eligible for this class. And like he says, he's got the wet tyre in the front and the back. Barry Davison next to him doesn't have he just has just normal intermediate, just normal race tyres, if you just want to call it that. He's got it on. He's got the BD40 team. I'm sure it's his young fella's bike as well, so I hope he doesn't do any damage to it. We're just waiting for number who's there? Number 16, just to get into his position, Owen Monaghan, who actually, if I remember rightly, in qualifying yesterday, unofficially broke the lap record from memory. I'm pretty sure he did. That's a 125 front row of 16, 40 and 4. Then it's 57 to 250, 12 to 250 of Richie Ford, and 55 in there, young Rhys Callister on the 125 Honda. There we go, 2-stroke heaven. And also a rider, I think, to throw a little spanner in the works in this one will be the man who's going off at the back on row number 6 that you're going to have to keep an eye on. Dan Sale. We know how good he is around this Motor Isle Billown circuit. So they're on the way round across four ways for the start of the second race of the day. The Words and Spaces Printers 250 Classics and 125 Post Classics. They're on the way to you at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, Dan Sale at the back. I do recall from memory last year in this particular, he did unofficially break the lap record during a practice session, and we were all wondering just how fast can these 125s go. Owen Monaghan was once again going well. Rhys Collister, we mentioned, I believe it was a newcomer last year in the 125 class, also did impress, but then the rain closed in, and I think that put paid to any chances we were going to see of a potential lap record. And speaking of lap records in the 250 class, you have to go all the way back to 1997 since that was set, 88.64 miles an hour by Bob Jackson, who also from the same year broke the race record at 86.44 miles an hour. And based on some of the timings we were seeing from qualifying even in the dry session during that afternoon yesterday, I think it's a bit of a tall order that we're going to see anyone anywhere near those times. But keep an eye on those 125s. It's a full 125 lockout of the front row, isn't it, of number 16, Owen Monaghan, number 40, Barry Davidson, number 4, Mike Hose. But we can talk about timings and I suppose on-track etiquette all you like. When it comes to these 250s and 125s, this is a war of attrition, this race. 6 laps at 25.5 miles when you're just out and about on the road every day really doesn't sound like too much, does it? But for these highly strung two-stroke machines, that can be a big ask. It's such a fine art to get these things right. There's been debate, hasn't there, over the last couple of years as to just how many people are getting involved in the 250 scene, because of course times have moved on, but still so fondly thought of, aren't they, as we can hear them making their way towards us. So we've already heard about the front three. Ewan Hamilton was 4th quickest in the last qualifying. 12, Richard Ford was 5th quickest. And number 55, Rhys Collister, the local man, was behind that. There's Monaghan, there's Hose, and there's the first of the 250s. That's number 34, Billy Cummins. Whole load more interview. There's number 8, Dan Sale, who's moved to the front of the order just on this sighting lap, starting from the back of the grid. Remember, number 12, Richard Ford. There's number 40, Barry Davidson, who's going to be on the front. Number 10, Andy Hunt. And number 40, Barry Davidson, has actually pulled over across 4 ways here. Maybe just some mechanical gubbins going on as number 94, Terence Sansom, on the way past it. He's just speaking to the marshals here, number 40, Barry Davidson. So there may be just a bit of a mechanical issue. We'll keep an eye on that in the next couple of moments as a couple more machines make their way towards us. All the 250s, 76, 23. There's number 70, Jeff Bates. And on a red plate here, given some dispensation to go, I believe that's Andrew Farrell out there. 40, Barry Davidson is back on the move here, looking to try and get things going across 4 ways. Let's see if he has done. Trying to see it, also trying to hear through my headphones if he's managed to get on his way again. Not seeing him on the exit across 4 ways just at the moment. So Barry Davidson, nope, he is on the move at the back of that convoy that's heading back to the start-finish line. So maybe just a couple of mechanical things that number 40, Barry Davidson, just worrying about there at the moment. He pulled over and was quite quickly talking to the marshals. Of course, we can't hear that conversation, but it'll be interesting to see if he can get himself back to the front row in time. Back to you, Tim.
Well, we'll certainly be keeping an eye on that one as the yellow flags are out to indicate where the rows are on the grid for the competitors, so they can get themselves into the right position. Travelling marshal just very gently leading them down here to the start-finish line and to the grid. He will now pull off, that travelling marshal, and be stationed here for the start of the race. And there is number 16, Owen Monaghan, on pole, and also on the front row is number 4, Mike Hose, but we still have that gap in the middle of the front row, which is where number 40, Barry Davidson, should be. 57 into position is Ewan Hamilton at the second row, so we wait to see if 40 is going to make his way through the pack as riders still coming over the hill and into position. And here is number 40 just weaving his way in and out through the other riders, and Barry Davidson makes his position now on the front row, but glancing down as well, just taking a look at the bike. But he seems content now, so whatever the issue was, he'll be hoping it's gone away and everything's sorted. We wait to see the green flag at the back of the grid, and then the sign will be going up. We've got the travelling marshals at the back of the grid, right on the crest there of School Hill, but it's still a red flag at the back, so it's quite a long hold here for for these little two-strokes, but this is why this meeting's so popular, because you're getting the sights and smells. And in fact, it looks like, well, we've got a false start because there's been no indication given of a start. So there's two machines still here on the front, and well, there's a look of bemusement amongst the officials as to what was going on there. And number 40, Barry Davidson, is the one remaining on the grid and is just looking at the officials there and going, what on earth is happening? That's one of the most chaotic things I've ever seen down here at the Motor Isle Billown Course, and there's still a look of complete bemusement from Barry Davidson. He's not really quite sure what to do with himself here, and he still looks over at the officials. Well, obviously we'll await to hear from race control what will be happening. Chris Kinley, let's just join Chris. Have they gone past you, or are they being pulled in? What on earth is happening?
They all went past us, yeah, they did, like you said, in dribs and drabs of travel. The marshals have gone. Andy Farrell's just gone back into the paddock, yeah, but I'm not sure. We're obviously going to investigate that now while we're down here, but that is very, very strange. No idea what happened. I think you can see another machine coming down. Is that Barry Davison? Has just left the paddock there now. Whether they're going to reform the course car is, we'll see what the course car does, whether that's going to be pulling into the right, to our right-hand side, your left-hand side, and off the circuit or not. But yeah, very, very interesting. We'll see what happens if they are going to keep them out for. Sorry if I just broke up there a second. See if they are going to cut him in. But Barry Davison just waving his arms at his team. But the course car is following him in. So I don't know, Tim. We're just going to have to keep a little eye on this one. Well, you are up there. So have you found out any information yet?
No, we've got our eager beavers trying to find out exactly what they are going to do here. And I'm just going to have a look behind and see if we do get any sort of flags out. The travelling marshal still going round his bike. So no, it's a bit of an unknown. They seem to be carrying on, it would appear. So, well, let's go out to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways. Very hard to explain this one.
Yeah, it is a bizarre situation, but what I can say is that there's quite a few machines that have already made their way through Cross Four Ways. Actually, we'll just go. I believe there's an update. We'll go back to Tim at race control.
No update here, Rob. Keep with it.
Well, I can just say, actually, there's a couple of riders been asked to pull over here. So I think they're obviously just working out what's happening with regards to this race. It is a completely bizarre situation, isn't it? But they all came through at race pace before a couple of them were asked to pull over on this side. So no doubt there'll be conversations going on in the paddock as to what is going to happen at the second time of asking. Tim, don't know if there's been any updates at your end.
Yeah, the race has effectively been red flagged because of that start. So they're going to be picked up again by the travelling marshals and brought back for a restart here. So it's a technical stop, but they have just stopped the bikes around the course. They are going to pick them all up with the travelling marshals. And, well, we'll try again because that was a really, really chaotic scene, one I've not seen here before like that. We get the odd rider that makes a bit of a jump start, and we then try and find out whether there's any penalty, but I've never seen the whole grid go off virtually like that when the sign hadn't even gone up. We get a sign, it's a metal pole with a yellow panel at the top of it, and at first it's engaged gear is displayed, and then that is flicked round by the marshal to indicate to watch the lights, which are up above me on the race control building here, which of course is still referred to as the bus, which was originally here. So that is the situation. We are, I think, going to have a restart to that. And, well, Chris Kinley has been covering this for longer than I have. I've never seen anything like that, Chris.
No, they haven't, but they have the new thing that they brought in now. We have it up at Derby at Andreas as well, where when the clerk of the course calls a stop, it's for if they have an incident, for example, they have what they call a medical stop, and then that is obviously an issue with something at the start line, so they've called that a technical stop. So that's the only reason why they do it, because obviously it's there for everybody's got to get their fair race, haven't he? So it is a technical stop. It's nothing to do with anything around the circuit. There was obviously a little bit of confusion on the start line. I have seen, like you said in the past, a few jump starts, but yeah, that's a strange little thing to happen, but hopefully they'll get a full reset on this as one of the traveller marshals roll past us here now. But yeah, Barry Davison would be the one. He came back in to the Barry Davison came back into the little return road here, if you want to call it that, and we just sat talking to his team. So whether they take them back up into the paddock and set them back up again and maybe run it later, or maybe go again, because we've got a fair bit of time. The clock's broken up there, it doesn't give you the right time. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But that's how I read it here anyway. Very strange, but I have seen a few jump starts in the past, but not like that. Strange. Tim?
Yeah, but just while you're on, Chris, Barry Davidson, I mean, he just sat there on the front of the grid because he was waiting to see the board go up, engage gear and watch the lights, and bikes were just streaming past him. A couple of others stopped and eventually didn't go, but then eventually did, because they thought, well, I might as well go with the rest of them as a travelling marshal just goes by. But Barry Davidson just had a look of complete bemusement looking towards the marshals. Not a pleasant experience for him, Chris.
Not sat in the middle of the front row of a start line grid. I mean, Barry's one of the most successful Irish motorcyclists of his time, and he's done the most finishes around the roads of Northern and Southern Ireland, and he's a lot of experience, and he's probably never seen anything like that. But it happens, doesn't it? But for me, being sat in the middle of a grid with another 20 bikes behind you and not moving, that must be how would Derry Kizik put it? Well, I better not. Anyway, one of those trouser clenching moments, I think it would be one of those. You need to keep a little line. But yeah, hopefully the reset itself will sort it all out. And the thing is about keeping all those two-strokes there sat in the line for so long as well, it's not good because they've got to run at a certain temperature. So that'll be one thing they will have to keep an eye on. But yeah, as soon as we get any more details on whether they're going to start moving the bikes, and I'm sure you'll get the details there. But Barry has gone back into the paddock.
Okay, well, there's the latest from down there. Yes, wouldn't like to have been in Barry Davidson's position there. Well, let's get the thoughts of Rob Pritchard and of any riders stopped out there with you, any sign of anything happening, and reaction to one of the more bizarre things I've ever seen down here at this or any other meeting. Rob Pritchard.
It was peculiar, wasn't it? Yeah, we've got a couple of riders here alongside the travelling marshals and the marshals here across four ways. I think everyone just awaiting further instruction. I think it's plain and simple to say as to what's going to happen, because they came through here across four ways at a race pace, I would say, particularly those at the front of the field. And just as they started to get to the back of the order, that's when the red flag started being displayed. And riders were just asked to pull in here at Cross Four Ways. But otherwise, apart from that, I'm guessing the message was getting round that it had been a false start, or however they're going to term it as well. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange situation we were hearing. And of course, obviously, the competitors, they're going off the instructions they're getting for the officials out on track. So as far as they were aware, once they got going, there were plenty at race pace here through Cross Four Ways. And like I'm going to just make a conservative estimate that around 4/5 of the field, I think, had got here through Cross Four Ways before the messages were relayed to pull over. But yeah, everyone just here at the moment, like I said, there's a trio of riders just waiting here. They were asked to just pull in here at Cross Four Ways. Everyone just awaiting further instruction at the moment. Tim, back to you.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Well, Barry Davidson then has gone back to the paddock, so I think he's made his intentions clear that that's enough for him. He did, of course, stop out there at Cross Four Ways, as Rob was describing on that initial warm-up lap, and was talking then with the marshals out there. So he did have a look down at his bike as well. So maybe he's just decided, I'd rather sit this one out than take part in it now after all of that. So a reminder then of the grid while we await to hear exactly what is going to happen, whether this race will be restarted or they're going to move to the next race and run this in a different order. On the grid, pole position is Owen Monaghan, number 16. Number 40, Barry Davidson, was in the middle of that front row, but whether he is going to remain in the paddock or come out, we wait and see. And number 4, Mike Hose. The second row, 57, Ewan Hamilton, 12, Richard Ford, and 55, who is Rhys Callister. Third row is number 34, Billy Cummins, number 15, Bob Doughty, and number 10, Andy Hunt. Fourth row is Joris Vastenackels, number 73, number 94, Terence Sansom, and number 63, Angela Cragg. The fifth row is number 23, Adrian Kershaw, number 76, Roy Phipps, and number 71, Richard Boole. And the sixth row is number 70, Jeff Bates, and that bike number 8 of Dan Sale. The non-starter was number 87, as we told you earlier, Brian Mattia, so we're not going to see the Ballyclare rider out there on his 250 Suzuki. There's no additional entries, no changes of machinery either. So, Alan Oversby then, 16 wins now, 2 at this meeting, 16 at all the meetings he's attended, and that puts him level with Bill Swallow. Bob Heath now in 4th position on 15, but Mike Hose, who Chris Kinley asked if he'd kicked a cat or something, because he's had absolutely no luck, it would seem, at the 2025 meeting, but he still has to his name 21 victories around the Motor Isle Billown Course. Well, let's see what other news we can bring you. We're hearing that the bikes are back on the move at Cross Four Ways, and they are going to be going back to the paddock or back to the holding area. We'll see exactly what's happening, because as soon as they go past me here, I'll hand back down to Chris Kinley. They're going into the holding area, so presumably there'll be another warm-up lap, and then they'll try and reform and get them away in an organised fashion here for another race start. Well, news in February that the race organisation of the meetings down here has reverted back to the Southern 100 Racing. Southern 100 Racing returns to being the race organisers for all events on the Motor Isle Billown Course, as well as promoters of the meeting. That follows discussions between the club, ACU events and various Isle of Man government departments. It was agreed to revert to the pre-COVID arrangement between the Southern 100 Motorcycle Racing Limited and the ACU, the governing body of motorcycling sport in the British Isles. And Southern 100 Racing have placed on record their thanks to the Department of Enterprise, Home Affairs, Infrastructure and ACU events for their assistance in negotiating this change. Well, looking up the road, you can see the travelling marshal now just leading the bikes on, and there is number 15. They're being waved through and to go into that holding area again. As 78 goes through, they're just being told to keep going, and there's a few people just raising their hands and just trying to find out what exactly happened there, but they're being waved through. So let's go back down to Chris Kinley and see what they're doing.
Well, I just had a quick chat with Barry Davison, as you so colourfully described, when he was sat on the line there, and he was saying that basically what happened was the guy with the red flag who tells him to stop on the red flag and then moves away, and then just as he got into his gate, all the riders just decided to go. And he's like, what's going on here? And he said to me, are we racing an island or on the Isle of Man? He said, I don't know. But Barry's back in here. Everybody else is back in here as well. Yeah, they're going to do a warm-up lap and then they're going to do 4. I had heard that, but I was just waiting for that on confirmation. So now it's going to be a 1 warm-up lap and then a 4-lap race. So that is what they're going to do. They've got the board ready for the guys. Barry and Bob Doughty just did deep conversation. Dan Sale just goes to chat to his guys, and the reason why Barry Davison pulled over at the Cross Four Ways was just a little 2-stroke thing, just to take a little bit of tape off the radiator, just to get the temperature down a little bit. So that's the only reason he stopped down there. Just something dead simple, just a bit of tape. They keep it on loose with a little fold back where they can grab it dead easy and just tear it off. We all know how thick duct tape is, don't we? So yeah, so that is why Barry pulled over there at Cross Four Ways, and he is there sat in his machine. His team are just having a little look around it again and looking at that radiator. And again, 1 warm-up lap and a 4-lap distance on this one, so we will hopefully have a better start this time. Richard Ford and Barry just in a little bit of eye conversation there now, and let's just hope we can get it all sorted this time. It happens, you know, mistakes happen. We are all human, and these things happen. The boys want to go. They want to go racing. They've been practicing and qualifying here for the past 2 days in the worst conditions we've known here. So they're now out, and they just want to get out and get going. So thankfully, no harm done. I've seen it a few times when we've had problems like that up at Derby when somebody stalls on the line and you're just hoping for a second that everybody is going to get through. And thankfully for Barry, they all spotted him because he is quite a tall chap as Barry, and they managed to all go round him there. The number 12 machine you can just hear there, that's the lovely T20 Suzuki, that of course of Richie Ford on 12, the Bob Jackson Classic Racing machine. Next to him, 57, is Ewan Hamilton. Now we are missing actually somebody next to Ewan Hamilton, 55, Reese Callister. Don't actually see Reese here, so if he had a problem on the warm-up lap or he's just not got back here yet, well, 55 Reese Callister for local fans. And of course he's one of our regulars up at Derby, is not on the grid. Dan Sailors though, he's going to be in his grid position, which is right at the back. So we are getting thumbs up now from the team. So the gate's now being opened, so our gate marshal. There you go, Barry Davison's machine fires up perfectly fine. Reese Callister, not here. Dan Sailors though on the 8. Dan on a little one dinger, he goes away. Right, there we go. So, second time lucky. Let's get back to Cross Four Ways, Rob. So, keep an eye on them pulling in, taking tape off, Rob. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that update, Chris. Yeah, I was wondering what Barry Davidson pulled over for. Thanks for clearing that all up for us. So, yeah, waiting for the convoy to make its way around for take 2. It's still a very peculiar situation, wasn't it? Because, of course, the false starts aren't uncommon here at the Billown Course, or indeed racing in general. But to hear of almost the entire field getting away is not something I've heard on, and this is my 4th year posted here at Cross Four Ways, but we can hear them in the distance. They'll hopefully be with us in the next few moments, but let's just before they get there, let's give you another reminder again of some of the times we were looking at from qualifying. Owen Monaghan was quickest, the only rider to go sub 3 minutes at 2:59.408, a best lap yesterday afternoon. That was followed by number 40 Barry Davidson, who as we've just been hearing had to pull off some tape to bring down the temperature of that 250, as Chris Kinley was finding out as well when he pulled over here across Four Ways and then got back on his way. Third quickest was number 4 Mike Hose, who also starts on the front row, I should say, 3 minutes 5.060. Then there was a considerable gap further back of just over 4 seconds to number 57 Ewan Hamilton, who was the quickest of the green-plated 250 machines, a best time of 3 minutes 9.104. Then it starts to spread out a little bit more again to number 12, Richard Ford, the second of the 250s on the Bob Jackson outfit. That was a 3:13.024. Number 55, Reese Callister, who we just heard from Chris Kinley there, maybe didn't appear in the paddock on this sighting lap. We'll just have a check, of course, on all the competitors that make their way through Cross Four Ways this time around as well. Was 6th quickest. Then number 34, Billy Cummins, who's starting on the 3rd row as well, 3 minutes 20.808. So the timings on qualifying, at least, suggesting this field could get quite spread out, but we could be in for a battle at the front. And also cat amongst the pigeons, as we've been talking about, Dan Sale at the back of the order as well. What can he potentially produce? He's excelled in this class in the last couple of meetings. Here comes the convoy led by number 16 Owen Monaghan, number 4 Mike Hose, number 12 Richard Ford, number 40 Barry Davidson, number 10 Andy Hunt, number 34 Billy Cummins, 73 Joris Fastenackles, 57 Ewan Hamilton, number 8 Dan Sale, number 94 Terence Santon, number 15 Bob Doughty, number 70 Jeff Bates, and number 76 Roy Phipps. So no number 55, the local rider Reese Callister, not in that sighting lap as the travelling marshals come through, as well as the course inspection car said. So that further confirms what Chris Kinley was observing down in the paddock area, the holding area. So the convoy is on its way for the second time to line up on the grid. Let's hope for maybe something a little more routine than what we had last time. Just looking a little further down, let's just quickly complete the top 10 in terms of the qualifying timings. Number 15, Bob Doughty, was 8th quickest at 3:21.9. Number 10, Andy Hunt, 9th quickest, 3:22.040. And then completing the top 10 timings in qualifying was the newcomer, number 73, Joris Vastenackels, 3:25.561. So again, a reminder, this is 2 races effectively in one. The 250 machines on the green plates with the white numbers, and the 125cc post-classic machines, they are on the black plates with white numbers. So 2 races effectively to be keeping an eye out for. As we've just been hearing, and as was confirmed before, shortened to a 4-lap race. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley and Rob Pritchard, for being across that situation. Bizarre. One of the strangest things I've seen. Now, one rider is coming down the hill and does have his hand up as he was just coming towards us. So we'll just keep an eye on this as the travelling marshal goes through. And I think it is number 4. Would you believe it again? Number 4, Mike Hose, has, for the 3rd time at this meeting, driven straight through, not even forming up, and retired from the race. So it really isn't his meeting whatsoever. So we've got Owen Monaghan in pole position. There is Barry Davidson, number 40 on the front row. Behind him is 57 Ewan Hamilton, 12 Richard Ford, but no number 55 Rhys Callister. So there's a great big hole on this left-hand side as I look up, right-hand side as they are racing. The green flag waves. Now we get the sign up. Engage gear. Watch the lights. Watch the lights. Watch the lights. And away we go, and it's a good start by number 40, Barry Davidson. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, it's such a shame we've lost Mike Hose off the start tonight. He would have been there, but it's the number 8 machine. I'm going to keep a little line, the little white machine with the number 8 on it. He's at the back, so it's 40 and 16, 12 and 34. And Dan Sale has got a lot of work to do. He is right at the back of the field, so we'll keep a little eye on that. But it's Barry Davison in there, Richard Ford in there, and of course Ewan Hamilton on the 250s chasing down Barry Davison.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it was a sluggish start from Dan Sale. He didn't get away cleanly at all from the very back of the grid. He's on the 6th row. He was the last bike on the grid, but just pulled in tight the near side to the commentary box before he really got going. So just had a bit of trouble getting that 125 Honda the Sulby rider did fired up. But it is a good start by Barry Davidson. There's quite a long hold with the lights there, and a few of them were just inching out of their starting positions, but there were no false starts, just I think a little bit of impatience and eagerness to make sure that they got away in a legit manner after that very bizarre start. So just a reminder that this race has been reduced to 4 laps. The Words and Spaces printers 250 Classic and 125 Post-Classic race is now a 4-lap affair. And the 2 classes, 250s green plates with white numbers, 125 black plates with white numbers. Let's go to Rob Pritchard.
Waiting for the first machines to hove into view, of course. Remember, 2 of the 6 competitors that were on the first 2 rows not taking part. We heard there that number 4, Mike Hose, a non-starter, and number 55, Rhys Callister, a non-starter as well. Here are your first 2 machines into cross 4 ways on the opening lap. It is number 16, Owen Monaghan, who leads number 40, Barry Davidson, around 3 bike lengths or so back. They've opened up a little bit of a gap of a few seconds to the rest of the field. Here's your first of your 250s. Number 12, Richard Ford, leading the 250s on the first lap from number 34, Billy Cummins there, and then number 10, Andy Hunt. So there's your top 3 in the 250s on the opening lap. Number 57, Ewan Hamilton, and then number 94, Terence Sanson. Followed a couple of seconds further back, number 15, Bob Doughty, and number 73, Joris Vastenackels, the newcomer. Number 70, Jeff Bates, and then a couple of seconds back at the back of the convoy in the order is number 76, Roy Phipps. So, First at Cross Four Ways was number 16, Owen Monaghan, from number 40, Barry Davidson. Only around 3 bike lengths or so, well, not even that, I don't think, around 2 bike lengths or so by my quick guessing between the two of them. They'd already opened up a bit of a gap to the front, as we saw in qualifying as well, when they were towards the front of the order as well. Number 12, Richard Ford, is the leading 250 machine into Cross Four Ways on the opening lap from number 34, Billy Cummins. To you, Tim.
Yeah, bike spotted on the bridge, so 2 over the crest of the hill. Here we go, we'll let you listen. So that was number 16, Owen Monaghan, in the lead. He's 1.373 seconds ahead of number 40, Barry Davidson. 2 machines in very close proximity to each other here. Almost crossed the line together. 34 Billy Cummins, and the other bike, I didn't catch the number, but it hasn't registered. It's number 10 Andy Hunt has just gone through, hasn't registered. Another retirement is number 57. Number 57 is retiring. That, of course, is a former winner of this, Ewan Hamilton. Through in 6th, but there is another bike to slot in. I think the transponder didn't click in. Is number 94 Terence Sansom. 7th at the moment is number 15 Bob Doughty. 8th, number 73 Joris Vastenacker. There is number 76 Roy Phipps. Just ahead of him was number 70 Jeff Bates in 9th. Roy Phipps is in 10th, but it is Owen Monaghan who has got the start here. The rider from Ilkeston on that RLT Racing 125 Honda that leads Barry Davidson by 1.373 seconds. We're showing that Billy Cummins is 3rd at the moment, 15.3 seconds behind the race leader, but I'm sure there was another bike in amongst the mix there, which we didn't get the number from, and we haven't seen either the number 8 bike who was at the back of the grid. Dan sailed through the start-finish. Let's go to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, the last time through Cross Four Ways, if we're looking at the 250s, you mentioned 34 Billy Cummins. It was number 12 Richard Ford who was ahead of Cummins last time around. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Here's number 16 Owen Monaghan, who's opened up quite a gap here to number 40 Barry Davidson as well. So it looks like number 16 Owen Monaghan has pulled the pin a little bit on this second lap as that yellow blob in the sky comes out again. And it's actually getting quite warm here at Cross Four Ways despite the breeze. So your first 2 machines through. Number 16 Owen Monaghan leading again at Cross Four Ways on lap 2 from number 40 Barry Davidson and extending that advantage. Here come your first of the 250 machines. There is number 12 Richard Ford, who is leading the 250 class from number 34 Billy Cummins. So indeed Richard Ford, Tim mentioned it before, he didn't come up on the timings on the opening lap as the third of the 250s. Number 10 Andy Hunt is on the way through. That's your 250 top 3 as it stands. So just for reference, leading the 250 class and third on the road is number 12 Richard Ford, who is circulating out there. He's now popping up on the timings. And number 34 Billy Cummins and Andy Hunt. Terence Sansom, Bob Doughty and Joris Vastenackle's the latest trio coming through Cross Four Ways. That looks to be quite an interesting battle going on in the 250 class as well. Now emerging towards us in the sunshine is number 70 Jeff Bates. To you, Tim.
Here's our race leader. That is Owen Monaghan. Here's the man in second, Barry Davidson, and the gap is 4.740. So we've worked out number 12 Richard Ford was the other bike along with Billy Cummins that crossed the line here, so they'll have to factor that in. We'll see if he trips the transponder this time or not. There's quite a gap. There's 2 machines together, not quite as close as they were last time. There is 12 and there is 34. So Billy Cummins is actually in 4th. Richard Ford was the one that crossed there in 3rd position. But they're around about 26 seconds behind Barry Davidson, who is in 2nd place, and it's Owen Monaghan. 86.624 miles per hour it was for Owen Monaghan. 86.624, which I think is a lap record, if I'm not mistaken there. Showing in the programme, the 125 lap record has been Owen Monaghan in 2023 at 82.230 miles per hour. Up here, it's 86.624 miles per hour, and Barry Davidson at 85.004 miles per hour. So that is an indication of how better conditions are. So Richard Ford confirmed then in third, Billy Cummins in fourth, fifth number 94, Terence Sansom, sixth number 73, Fastenanacker. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, that might just indicate maybe a couple more retirements there in terms of a bit of a change of the order in behind. Here is number 16, Owen Monaghan, who's all by himself out here at Cross Four Ways at the moment. He has absolutely stormed out in front of Cross Four Ways here on this penultimate lap from number 40, Barry Davidson, who's going steady here, but just can't seem to match the pace there. You can just hear that in the background, just going down through the box there. Didn't quite sound the same as it did on the previous lap, so maybe he's just had a little look behind him there, Barry Davidson, as well, on the exit across Four Ways. So maybe just trying to work something out there. We mentioned that he'd stopped to remove some of the tape just to bring the temperature down on that machine on the first sighting lap before the false start, but those two still well out in front. Owen Monaghan is stretching his advantage. Here's your leading 250 machine, number 12, Richard Ford, and number 34, Billy Cummins as well, who's just about a second or so further back here as they both make their way through Cross Four Ways. That might not be said and done yet as we're on the penultimate lap. So just to recap of the four machines that have come through, we've got our leading 125s, our leading 250s, our leading 125, Owen Monaghan, who is on a real charge at the moment. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, bike spotted on the bridge and now over School Hill Rise. Have a listen as he comes down the start finish. Definitely looking down at the left-hand side of the bike there was Owen Monaghan as he crossed the line. Was having a very good couple of looks he had, and a prolonged look the second time down at the left-hand side of his machine. So we're still waiting for number 40, Barry Davidson, to come through with us. He's on to his last lap, is Owen Monaghan, and well, he'll be praying that everything just holds together and gets him home. And a bike just pulling in here, coming past us here, and it's not sounding well at all. That is number 40, Barry Davidson. So this is now the race for second and third, and it's Richard Ford who is inheriting second place now ahead of number 34, Billy Cummins. So all chop and change here. No one's gone quicker. Owen Monaghan's lap record at 86.624 miles per hour on lap 2. So they're on to their final lap of this shortened Words and Spaces Printers 250 Classic and 125 Post Classic. But to tell you, of course, they've actually had more laps than they would have. It's about the same because they're 2 warm-ups, that false lap, are now reduced to a 4 lap. It was originally meant to be a 6 lap race. So an advantage of 38.3. And that was Doughty, Fastenacker and Sampson in 5th, 6th and 7th positions. They're all the ones that we've had through as we go for the final time in this race out to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
As we've just in the last few seconds seen number 76 Roy Phipps on the way through Cross Four Ways on the previous lap. You just mentioned that trio of machines that have made their way through. Bob Doughty, Joris Fastenackles and 94 Terence Sansom. Fastenackles actually made up that ground on Sansom here at Cross Four Ways on the previous lap. That trio almost practically glued together throughout this whole race there. So there's a great little joust going on further down the field. Here is your race leader, number 16 Owen Monaghan. Of course, as we've just heard, Barry Davidson, that bike wasn't sounding good at all. We could hear it through Cross Four Ways here, just would not, by my reckoning, just didn't seem to be wanting to click into gear. It eventually did as he made his way round through Cross Four Ways, but we could just see on the exit he kept looking back over his left shoulder as well, so maybe noticing that something wasn't quite right. Well, he'll have been hearing it, won't he, on his way into Cross Four Ways. But Owen Monaghan absolutely storming out front at the moment. But that battle's still going on between the two 250s, if indeed they'll emerge towards us at Cross Four Ways. Indeed they are, so this might be going down to the latter stages of this final lap. Number 12, Richard Ford, leading the 250 class from number 34, Billy Cummins, who's keeping him honest in these latter stages of this 250 125 Post Classic combined race. So Richard Ford still leading the 250 class from number 34 Billy Cummins, and both of them as it stands inside the top 3 overall, alongside your race leader number 16 Owen Monaghan. The others haven't made their way towards us. The field is incredibly spread out, but no doubt we'll be seeing number 16 Owen Monaghan heading towards the start finish line in just a few moments time. The road's gone quiet here. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, we should be about to see our raceman winner emerge on the crest there of School Hill Rise. And he duly takes the checkered flag. So the winner of the Words and Spaces Printers 250 Classic and 125 Post Classic is Owen Monaghan, and we'll hand down, because such is the lead that he's got, to get that initial cherished reaction straight to Chris Kinley, and we'll confirm the other places as we go. Chris.
Yeah, Barry Davison, when he came in as well, Barry's machine did not sound healthy, and Owen's isn't sounding too healthy as well. He was looking down at it when he went past us here on the previous lap. The tape from the radiator is there, but he has broken the lap record, but he's going to tell us the story of this. We've got to keep an eye on the 250 battle. Will it be a double for Richard Ford, who of course won it? Richard Ford second on the road, Billy Cummins third on the road, so they're first and second in their class. And then we're going to have to wait for number, I think it is 16, Bob Doughty, or not 16, what are you on about there? Bob Doughty, number 15, but Owen is here. George just grabbed the machine. So Richard Ford is confirmed in here. We'll let Owen get the machine. There's only one of them. There's only 125 finished, unfortunately. So we'll let him get up here and get his quick chat with it. And Owen, she didn't sound good.
No, I think his horse might have fallen off.
Same as Barry. Barry, when he came in as well, his sound like his had blown off as well.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, I was just coming past the grandstand here and I just started to make a little bit more and more noise, and then I was like, oh, that's it, I'm over. But I just thought, well, I'll keep riding it. It wouldn't rev past 10, which is kind of where the power band starts, so it was a bit slow, but it just kept going. So I was sort of willing it on to the end there, but yeah, lucky to get the win there.
Certainly were, and you broke your old lap record as well, up to 86 mile an hour now.
Oh, cool, happy days.
That's good. Barry, give you a good run. We know how good a rider Barry is as well, but I thought Dan Sale was going to be there. Dan, unfortunately, had a bit of a tip-off up at Ballachagan, but he's all right. But you're just on your own, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was expecting everyone to come past me on that last lap, but it was just a good feeling when I crossed the line and there's no one there. So
I'll let you get your lid off because we're going to do the presentation now. Well done, Owen.
All right, thank you very much.
Well done, buddy. Yeah, cheers. And the guys from Words and Spaces Printers are here to do the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Words and Spaces, please. They're going to present the prizes. So the winner of the Words and Spaces lightweight 125 section of this is number 16. It's Owen Monaghan. Well done to Owen up there on his own, but he got the Forage of Inter sparkling wine, and of course the wreath over his neck. So just confirm the top three in the 250s, Tim. Confirm 12, 34, and 15. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Just see what 73 is on machine. Is a 250 as well. That's Fastenagas is in fourth place overall, which will be third in the 250s.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just getting that confirmed from Dickie there.
34,
yeah.
73.
73, yeah, that's it. There we go. Let's grab a word with Richard wherever he has gone to. Where is he gone? Where's he gone? Has he ran away? He's gone to the toilet. Oh, there he is. He's gone. He's done a runner. He doesn't want to do all this. Billy Willow. Hello, William.
Right, how are you?
That's good. Yes, back up in here. You've not been a while since you've been in here.
It's been a while. I want to set an example to Connor.
Oh, now you don't put any pressure on the lad. How was that though? What a battle you and Richard had? Yeah. Sorry, let's get out of his way. You get his bike up
a little bit towards the end, and I kept missing the odd gear, but it was just cool as it was brilliant. Happy days.
Obviously, Dickie's bike still.
Me and him have been with that since I was 16 years old. I've been racing that bike.
5 years then.
Yeah. 50 odd.
Well done, Billy. Well done.
Thanks very much, Chris.
Well done, yeah, and good luck to Connor for TT. And newcomer Joris, English okay? It's okay. Very good. Happy?
Very happy.
First time on the Isle of Man, first time at Billown, and a third place.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Can't believe it.
Come back next year?
Expensive, you know.
Yeah, very expensive, but good fun and well worth it.
Yeah, well, good fun. Great circuit. Wow.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much. Well done, guys. Well done, Joris. Good stuff. So there's your top three. We now, unfortunately, haven't managed to have a chat with our number 12 rider, Richard Ford, who's there. Oh, he's here. He's here now, Richie. How are we? You did a run. Did you need a wee or something?
No, I needed to see the boss.
Oh, well. Is the boss all right?
Go another way with that gentleman there.
Which one there? The one sat down there. Hello, sir.
He's the reason why I'm here.
Oh, is that young Bob?
Yeah.
It is young Bob. Hello, Bob and Mrs. Bob. Hope you're well over there.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
He's been supporting you how many years now?
Long time. Long time. He's absolute superstar. Like I say, it's the only reason why I'm here. If he'll stop, I stop.
What about you and young Mr. Cummins having a good battle?
Oh, he's great. And, he's such a clean rider to work with as well. It's lovely. It's great to be out on the track. Nice day like this. Bike's running well. Great guys to race with. Perfect.
It's your second win here now, isn't it, on this circuit, I think, from memory?
Thankfully, it doesn't prove last year was a fluke.
Well, because you've been trying a long time to win it, weren't you?
Yeah, we've had a few near misses, but I maybe finally worked out where to go round here. I don't know.
And what about Tandragini after TT? Going to do that in Armoy for the rest of the year?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, they won't start without me.
Absolutely. Well done, Rich. Well done. There you go. There's the top three in the 250 version of the Words and Spaces event. Guys, off you go again. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a newcomer to the circuit. In third place, number 73, Joris Fasterknuckles. He was a happy chap. Absolutely. Well done to him. In second place, it is, of course, Manxman 34, Billy Cummins. Well done, young William. And his second win around here on the Bob Jackson Suzuki Bob. Happy man over there. Number 12, Richard Ford. So well done to the top three. And thank you very much once again to the sponsors, Words and Spaces. So a pretty eventful little 250-125 race, Tim. We'll hand it back to you to tidy up.
An understatement there, to say the very least, from Chris Kinley. So, we've heard down to fourth. Fifth was number 15, Bob Doughty. Sixth was number 94, Terence Sampson. And seventh was number 70, Jeff Bates. And they were the only finishers in that very attritional and, spread out affair, we can term it, for that race. So the next race we have is race 7, the Vintage MCC Isle of Man section, 350cc Junior Classic race. And let's go through the grid for you. So we have number 7, Harley Rushton, on pole position. The middle of the front row will be number 21, Will Loader, and number 2, Alan Oversby. Second row is number 1, Joe Yeardsley, number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, and number 4, hopefully, Mike Hose. The next row, third row, number 11, Stephen Elliott, number 10, Andy Hunt, and number 61, Leon Murphy. Straight back down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, they're getting on with this, aren't they? They really are. And the first man into the little holding area. I'm not going to speak to him this time. We'll just let him get through. I won't even make eye contact. Maybe it's me. Number 4, Mike Hose, then will get himself into his position. 21, Will Loader. He comes through. Beautiful looking sounding machine as well. Then Greaves Alton. He's rolling into his position at the front. Then we got number 108 coming in as well. Mike Titchmarsh on the 350 K4. He's from Broughton. Number 2, Alan Oversby, has to be one of the favourites for this. There's Alan. Can he get to his 17th win after this? And there's a few riders who've had little tip-offs and stuff, and they've just got to go to the medics and just get a check out and a big thumbs up as well. I've just seen Dan Sale coming back through for Dan Sale's fans. He had a bit of a tip-off at Ballachagan. He went straight on. The brakes failed going into it, and he went straight on, and he was nearly heading over the hill into Gansey, but he managed to get stopped by the road sign. 59 is next there. We just see that Andy Kildare for Newton Ards. Nice golf course around there called Scrabo, if I remember rightly as well. Number 3, Mark Johnson on the 350 Trixton Honda. But number 1, Joe Yeardsley. He gets onto that second row. Definitely going to be a cracking race. They've all been cracking races so far. Drama everywhere. And what about this guy walking up past us now? 7, Harley Rushton on the K4 Honda, the Craven Honda. Is he going to get a little bit of luck? Obviously had a look in the race a little bit earlier on in the 500, but he just rolls himself into his grid position, and we will be leaving here very, very shortly. And looking out towards where that weather's coming from, it seems to be at the moment skew-whiffing itself and going round towards Lagness up the airport way. That weather that we had, that was supposed to be in about 3ish, it's gone that way, so hopefully this wind has shoved it through. Let's hope so. The wind has slightly changed direction and just maybe running it round the coast of the south of the Isle of Man and not over this 4.25 mile Motor Isle Billown circuit. So everybody into position. Number 11 is in there as well. Stevie Elliott on the Ken Rutto Honda, the 350 version of that, the Kingsley rider. Who else can be seen just at the back there? 47, give him a mention. 92, 59, 72, they're all here, all with the blue plates, with the white numbers on, ready to go out for their sighting lap. And Mike Hose is going to be hoping, wow, listen to that. That 350 twin kicks in. Hoping for just a little bit of luck, as they say. Somebody's got the right idea there with a can of Stella in the hand. Number 10 is next to go, and that should be Andy Hunt. We're just waiting for Andy. I think he's just had to go for a little bit of a check-up, I think, possibly. I'm not sure, but it looked like it was him that was running down to see the medical guys before, but he's not here as machine is, so he's going to have to hurry up, or he's not going to be able to make the start of this one, because they do obviously run these things to a pretty tight schedule. So number 10, the machine is here, but no rider as of yet. So we'll keep a little eye on this one. We'll go to Rob if we want across 4 ways. But keep your ears out, please, Ben, and I'll let the followers of number 10, Andy Hunt, know if he's managing to get out on that 340 Ducati. Back to Rob.
Yeah, just to pick up on the weather side of things, just over us at the moment, it is blue skies dotted with a little bit of higher cloud, I should say. So South Barrule still, as I've mentioned, looking magnificent in the distance at the moment. We did, not the previous race, but the one before that, we did see some of that gloomy, ominous, dark grey cloud over in the distance, but that was covering South Barrule temporarily and seemed to just sort of skirt round us. So hopefully if we have any more of that, it does go on its merry way and doesn't drop any rainfall. Goodness knows we've had plenty of that so far. Funnily enough, actually, the field just behind us, they're growing crops in this field behind us well here at Cross Four Ways. My word, have they been glad of the actual weather, because those plants have absolutely shot up in the last couple of days, me and my colleague were remarking on. So I suppose, silver lining for the landowners here in terms of getting their crops in the ground. We can hear those machines in the distance. Again, we'll just take a quick look through before they arrive of number 2 qualifying. We're just hearing as well that number 10, we did hear there, Andy Hunt is now confirmed as a non-starter. So number 10, Andy Hunt, is a non-starter in this race. Here comes the travelling marshal leading the convoy through. Incidentally, the man who's going to be sitting on pole for this one, number 7, Harley Rushton. There's number 21, Will Load, Alan Oversby, Rushton, Yeardsley, Titchmarsh, Hose, Elliott. More machines on the way through, 89, 3, 32, 59, 72 in order. Number 63, Angela Cragg, and number 47 on the way through as well. As more machines go through, a reminder, Harley Rushton actually did get plenty of laps on that 350, but number 21, Will Loader, on his own machine, well, he's had plenty of success on that 350 already as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes and how much time he's had out in qualifying compared to previous years. That's the whole of the convoy through here across 4 ways, followed by the 2 travelling marshals. Number 21, Will Loader, was second quickest in the second qualifying session, 2.5 seconds back of Harley Rushton's best time. That was the benchmark, 2:53.793. Incidentally, all of the top 4 riders did manage to go sub 3 minutes in that afternoon qualifying session last night. Will Loader, Alan Oversby and Joe Yeardsley, and then behind that, Michael Titchmarsh was 5th quickest, the 1:08 machine, 3 minutes 1.810, and then number 4, Mike Hose, in 6th, 3 minutes 3.030. He'll be hoping for a bit more luck to start this race. Back to you, Tim.
Yes, indeed he will. So, yeah, no number 10, Andy Hunt, confirmed, as Rob was saying, and Chris had been portraying that he was missing. As the travelling marshal comes into view and a whole gaggle of bikes emerge over the crest of the hill in front of us, some of them weaving around to get some heat into the tyres. The travelling marshal, as I'm sure you're accustomed to now, will just pootle on past and pull in here at Race HQ. There's the man on pole, number 7, Harley Rushton, on the Ted Wolf Craven Honda, the man from Ingleton. Number 21 in the middle there is Will Loader, number 2, Alan Oversby, and we have got number 4, Mike Hose, on the grid. He's not ridden through on this occasion, making it 4 times that's happened. So everyone's in position. Let's get a smooth start to what I think could be an absolute belter of a race here this afternoon. Still the red flag at the back. It'll soon go to green. It does, right on cue. Engage gears, says the board. Flip round. Watch the lights. Watch the lights. Watch the lights. And away we are about to go. And it's a good start by Oversby and Mike Hose. Let's go back to Chris Kinley.
This could be anyone's as the blue plates with the white numbers come towards us. It's number 7, Harley Rushton, but just on the inside of his Joe Yeardsley. Then it's 2, then 11. 59 with a problem in the middle there. So 59 with a problem. Andy Kildare, but he's all right. He's pulled over to the left-hand side, so Andy Kildare will be a retirement. And there's another rider pulling in just off the start as well. Just can't make that number out at the moment. But yeah, great start from Harley Rushton in there on the 7 bike. But of course, yeah, Joe Yeardsley, he was up the inside and preparing to go around Ballachagan. Lap 1.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley, as all the officials now clear away from their grid positions and get ready with either flag duties or indeed spotting numbers as they come past us here and putting boards out. There's a whole myriad of things that are going on in the background to make such a meeting as the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic go ahead. And again, I'll just emphasise Harley Rushton didn't get away so smoothly here, but by the time he got down to Chris Kinley, he got into full gear and was the first bike through there. So things can really change in a very short stretch of tarmac between the HQ here and the clubhouse, just only a matter of metres down the road. Let's go out to Cross Fourways for the first time and Rob Pritchard.
By the sounds of what Chris was saying at the whole shot, it was potentially anyone's game on this opening lap. And I did hear one name in there, well, not number, I should say, number 11, Stephen Elliott. If that's the case and he's got himself into contention toward the front, a jump from the third row is quite impressive indeed. We can hear that noise heading towards us. 1, 2, 3 machines interviewing at the front is number 1, Joe Yeardsley and then number 7, Harley Rushton in second. Number 2, Alan Oversby in third. Number 4, Mike Hose. Then number 21, Will Loader dropping back. Number 108, Michael Titchmarsh. And number 11, Stephen Elliott on the way through. Group 4 more, number 32, Kelly Carruthers in that particular group. There is number 34, Billy Cummins. Great race before. Angela Cragg, 53, 47, and 20 on the way through Cross Fourways here. So number 1, Joe Yeardsley leading Cross Fourways, number 17, 69, and 99 in order. And the travelling marshals behind the convoy on this opening lap. So a great set of manoeuvres through the corners from Joe Yeardsley, it seems, between the whole shot and getting to here at Cross Fourways. He leads just ahead of number 7, Harley Rushton, but keeping in close attendance. Already a winner again today, number 2, Alan Oversby, just sitting behind those front two at the moment. Then, to be honest, it's almost anyone's game in behind there as well. I mentioned there number 11, Stephen Elliott, who had a good jump from the third row at the start of the race, right into contention inside the top 5 as it stands on this opening lap. But it's all chopping and changing already before they'd even made it to Cross Fourways. What next? Over to you, Tim.
There's our leader, Joe Yeardsley. Number 1 leads 7 by 0.4. 7 bikes already through. An overtake being taken there by number 3, Mark Johnson. Right on the start-finish line. We'll see them all through. 4 more in view. Travelling marshal at the back. So it's number 1, Joe Yeardsley, who is leading. Number 7, Harley Rushton by 0.453 of a second. Third is number 2, Alan Oversby. He's 2 seconds back on Yeardsley. Fourth is number 4, Mike Hose. He is a further 4 seconds back on Oversby. Fifth is 21, Will Loader. Sixth, number 108, that's Michael Titchmarsh. Seventh is number 11, Stephen Elliott. Eighth is number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Ninth, number 89, Rob Lowe. 10th is number 3, Mark Johnson. 11th, number 72, Shelley Pike. 12th is number 34, Billy Cummins. 13th is number 63, Angela Cragg. 14th is number 53, Ian Thompson. 15th, number 92, Stephen Walsh. 16th, 47, Russell Robury. 17th, number 70, Jeff Bates. Then it's Abbott and Coley. Robert Cross Fourways.
So just 0.453 seconds separating the front two at the start-finish. Here is your leader, number 1, Joe Yeardsley, from number 7, Harley Rushton there, who just seems to have opened up a little bit of a gap to this man. Number 2, Alan Oversby, for the front three have stolen a march on the rest of the order in behind. Here's number 21, Will Lowe, who's got work to do. Number 4, Mike Hose, bearing down behind him. There's number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, and number 11, Stephen Elliott on the way through as well. So no change from the previous lap here at Cross Four Ways. In position-wise, number 32, Kelly Carruthers comes through and onto the exit across Four Ways towards Church Bends. So number 1, Joe Yeardsley leading again. More numbers coming through, 89, 3, 72, 34. So Billy Cummins at the back of that quartet just at the moment. Then a few more seconds back, number 63 machine of Angela Cragg as well. So the battle inside the top 10, fierce indeed, as numbers 53 and 92 make their way through as well. Joe Yeardsley then leading across Four Ways as number 47 comes through, just only a few bike lengths in. And number 7, Harley Rushton, number 2, Alan Oversby, just biding his time in behind, just seems to drop back a little bit as 2 more machines make their way through. In fact, the third in the number 99 outfit of Robert Coley, the newcomer there. Back to you, Tim.
Here they come. And it is Joe Yeardsley who is the leader there, ahead of number 7, Harley Rushton. There's the man in third now, number 21, Will Loader. There is 108 through, 11 is through. Road goes a little bit quiet. We're just going to have to turn to the phone to give you the situation in this race, because just lost connection, unfortunately. So Joe Yeardsley leads from Harley Rushton by 0.736 of a second. Further 3.3 seconds back is Alan Oversby. In fourth, it's number 21, Will Loader. Fifth now, and down into fifth is number 4, Mike Hose. In sixth position is number 108, Michael Titchmarsh. Seventh is number 11, Stephen Elliott. And in eighth position is number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Ninth is number 89, Rob Lowe. 10th is number 3, Mark Johnson. And in 11th position is 72, Shelley Pike. So that is the position then. Joe Yeardsley is 0.0736 ahead of bike number 7, Harley Rushton. As we've got all the 19 that's still circulating through. Let's now go to Rob Pritchard out at Cross Four Ways.
Elsewhere down the order as well, the battle for the final place in the top 10. There's only just over half a second separating the trio of Mark Johnson, Shelley Pike and Billy Cummins. Here's your race leader again, number 1, Joe Yeardsley, from number 7, Harley Rushton. Doesn't seem to be too much of a change in terms of the gap between the two of them. Number 2, Alan Oversby, keeping them honest through Cross Four Ways as well. So he's keeping tabs on those leading two at the moment, but no change to the front. It is Yeardsley, then Rushton, and then Oversby. Here's number 21, Will Loader, who's just opened up a little bit of an extra gap to number 4, Mike Hose there on the Davies Motorsport machine. Then there's number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, on the way through as well. So there's your first 6. Then number 11, Stephen Elliott. A couple of seconds further back, number 32, Kelly Carruthers here. We're keeping an eye on that battle for the likes of 10th, 11th and 12th. Mark Johnson, Shelley Pike and Billy Cummins as well, hopefully in the next few moments. But there's a bit of a gap in the field there as 4 more machines emerge into view in front of us. 89 leads 3, leads 34, leads 72. So no change there again from 9th to 12th in terms of the order. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, bike spotted there on the bridge, and here is our race leader. It's still number 1 from number 7, but it's 1.892 between them now. There is number 2 in third, Alan Oversby. Yeardsley, Rushton and Oversby is your top 3 at the moment, as the 4th bike comes into our sights now. That is number 21, Will Loader. There's number 4, Mike Hose. And there's 108, Michael Titchmarsh. So Joe Yeardsley, 89.089 on that lap. Lap record goes back to Jamie Coward at 91.274. That's the mark. So 1.892, number 1, Joe Yeardsley leads. Number 7, Harley Rushton. In third, a little further back, is number 2, Alan Oversby. Fourth then is 21, Will Loader. What a bit of action just through there. Mark Johnson, Billy Cummins and Shelley Pike in 10th, 11th and 12th could hardly be separated there. So Will Loder's in 4th. Number 4, Mike Hose is 5th. 6th is number 108, Michael Titchmarsh. 7th, number 11, Stephen Elliott. 8th, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. 9th, 89, Rob Lowe. 10th, number 3, Mark Johnson. Billy Cummins in 11th, number 34, then 72, Shelley Pike. 13th is number 63, Angela Cragg. Then it's number 92, Stephen Walsh, Ian Thompson and Russell Rowbury. As Jeff Bates just goes past us, let's go to Robert Cross Four Ways.
Let's see, do we have any change at the moment to Joe Yeardley? He's just starting to eke out that advantage a little bit more, and indeed he has done again at Cross Four Ways here. Number 1, your race leader, Joe Yeardley, just seems to have opened up a little bit more of a gap to number 7, Harley Rushton. Just seems to be echoing what Tim was saying at the start-finish line, and in turn, Rushton has opened up a little bit of a bigger gap to number 2, Alan Oversby here as well. So that front trio just starting to spread things out a little bit more. Yeardley leading, and opening the gap to Harley Rushton is number 21, Will Loder, who's got some ground if he wants to try and get up towards the likes of Alan Oversby, currently occupying that final podium place. Number 4, Mike Hose dropping back, and that's interesting because Mike Hose is now coming straight into the sightlines of number 108, Michael Titchmarsh as well there. So that could be a battle going on towards the end, as well as number 11, Stephen Elliott, into Cross Four Ways on lap 4. A couple of seconds ahead, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. So no change in the order once again here at Cross Four Ways as it was on the previous lap, but number 1, Joe Yeardley, just seems to have eked out a bit more of a margin to number 7, Harley Rushton, who in turn also seems to have stretched his advantage to number 2, Alan Oversby in 3rd. But that battle in behind getting interesting. To you, Tim.
Yep, here comes Joe Yeardley, and just at the top of the hill there is Harley Rushton. And it's a growing advantage, 3.049 seconds now that Yeardley leads Rushton. This should be Oversby in 3rd. It is indeed, but he's a further 10 seconds back. 4th man there, number 21, is Will Loder, and 2 bikes almost together, and Hose has dropped down another place because he's been overtaken now by number 108, Michael Titchmarsh. So number 4, Mike Hose, down into 6th position. There's number 11. And 32, so it's 7th for number 11, Stephen Elliott. 8th place is number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Fastest lap by Joe Yeardley on that circuit, 89.089 miles per hour. So still a little shy of the 2 minutes 47 that we had. All races, we're being told, are being reduced by 1 lap now, except the Sidecar race, which remains at 4. So is this a 6-lap race? Thank you for the confirmation. So it's a 6-lap affair, not a 7-lap race now. So Mark Johnson, 9th, number 3, 10th, number 89, Rob Lowe, 11th, number 34, Billy Cummins, and 12th, number 72, Shelley Pike. So it is Yeardley by 3 seconds from Rushton. Let's go out to Robert Cross Four Ways.
So yeah, that's a couple of changes between Cross Four Ways and the start-finish in terms of Michael Titchmarsh moving his way up to 5th, and also Mark Johnson moving up to 9th. Number 1, Joe Yeardley, and now number 7, Harley Rushton. So that gap, as we saw again at the start-finish line, just seems to be opening out just that little bit more there. So Joe Yeardley in control at Cross Four Ways on the way towards Church Bends from number 7, Harley Rushton there. And those two are continuing to extend the gap to this man, number 2, Alan Oversby, who is potentially coming into the sight line now. Number 21, Will Loder. Number 21, Will Loder, seems to have made up a fair bit of ground on number 2, Alan Oversby. There's still a fair bit of work to do for Will Loder to try and catch him, but that is a much smaller margin compared to what we saw last time. Here is number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, ahead of number 4, Mike Hose. So that stayed as it was at the start-finish line, where we saw Michael Titchmarsh get the overtake right on number 4, Mike Hose there. We did hear a change inside the top 10, as we mentioned before. Mark Johnson up to 9th, ahead of Rob Lowe. Number 11, Stephen Elliott on the way through, still running in 7th. And number 8, number 32, Kelly Carruthers in 8th, has closed down on Stephen Elliott. To you, Tim.
And the last lap flag is indeed out, and here is our leader. It's a bigger lead as well. It's 4.292 seconds Number 1, Joe Yeardsley ahead of number 7, Harley Rushton. And we await to see if it is still Alan Oversby in 3rd place. But, well, Joe Yeardsley is just eking out that advantage every time. 2 bikes together here. And it's 21, Will Loader, who's got ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby. So they are less than a second, half a second between them. But Loader has got ahead into 3rd place and on the podium ahead of Alan Oversby. There's number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, and number 4, Mike Hose through. So, yeah, the fastest lap for Loader in that on that last circuit at 87.383 miles per hour. But it is indeed Joe Yeardsley quickest of all at 89.089 miles per hour. And he has a 4.292 second advantage over number 7, Rushton. So 5th is 108, Michael Titchmarsh. 6th, 4, Mike Hose. 7th is 11, Stephen Elliott. And 8th place is number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Steam train is on its way from Castletown to Port Erin's. I can't tell you any bikes crossing the bridge, but here's the 4 together, but the back marker of them is indicating the retirement, and that is number 34, Billy Cummins. A retirement for Cummins. Let's go out to Cross Four Ways. Final lap action, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, I just wonder if Alan Oversby might have a bit of a potential mechanical issue if Will Loader's been able to catch him. Here's your race leader, number 1, Joe Yeardsley. Again, stretching that advantage in control at Cross Four Ways from number 7, Harley Rushton as well. They're setting a high pace between themselves anyway out front at the moment. But we heard Will Loader had got past number 2, Alan Oversby, on the start-finish line as well. And I just remember seeing that across Four Ways on the last lap. Will Loader had made up a gargantuan amount of ground on number 2, Alan Oversby. Here they come into Cross Four Ways for the final time in this race. It is number 21, Will Loader, ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby there. So that battle could be going right down to the wire for the final podium place. What's it like on the exit? Let's see. Oh, they look to be side by side on the exit across Four Ways there. This battle is not done and dusted for the 3rd place. Here's number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, on the way through. Good solid riding from Titchmarsh, moving from 6th up to 5th earlier in the race as well. Here's number 4, Mike Hose, just dropping a little bit further back as well. But just to summarise again at Cross Four Ways, Yeardsley, as he has done throughout the race, dominating at the front. To you, Tim.
Yep, I think it is a very dominant win for the Isle of Man rider. And just looking up the hill, and it is indeed number 1. He's cruising across the line to take the victory. It's only by 2 seconds. He was looking back to see how far it was that Rushton was behind him. So he knew he had victory in the bag. Well done to Joe Yeardsley. 2nd place it is for Harley Rushton. And we await to see who is in 3rd. But a home victory once again as 2 bikes emerge. And it's a dash for the line here. Oh, Will Loader, and there is a cigarette paper between them. Alan Oversby is in 4th. It'll have to be called by the line judges, but the timing has 21. Will Loader as 3rd. Chris Kinley, a thriller.
Yeah, absolutely. He's rode the wheels off that Greaves as Will Loader there gets himself just into that 3rd place. But Joe Yeardsley here, he's won on the big bike, he's won on the 500 Classic, he's now won on the 350 as well. And Joe, let's go back to just have a drink of juice first before you talk to me. Let's go back to Friday night when you were sliding on your merry backside going out of Church Bends. You must have thought, what have I done?
Yeah, I was like, oh, the wall's coming towards you and you're thinking, oh no, TT, everything else, you know. I just did nothing different than what I ever normally did, you know. I just come in and it was a bit of standing water and down you went. But these bikes are so good, aren't they? You know, you forget how good them little thin tyres are unless you're me through Church Bends. But yeah, I loved it. It's first time riding a 350, and on the hairpins, I wasn't slipping the clutch of the day, and revving it nearly falling over when you go on the throttle, so it's just getting used to it. But this is all just great practice for the Manx Grand Prix when we're riding it there, and it's lovely to always support the event here as well. So big thanks to Cam Rutter for supplying me with the amazing bike. It's really appreciated.
So a 350 win, a 500 win, and a big bike, couple of big bike wins around here. Now you're getting quite good around this place. You're catching Palmer up there.
Yeah, no, it's I love this event. It was my first ever road race in a orange jacket only 3 years ago, and you've got people like Grant Thompson, other local boys all coming through now and winning, and it's great. Really is great to see.
Sets you up nicely for the big bike race later in good conditions. all right in it?
Well, don't jinx it, but yeah, I hope so. I've been a nervous wreck all weekend, to be honest, with the weather, with all the teams set up at TT, a lot of money and infrastructure put in. So it's just about getting through this last race now, and then we can get to it hopefully tomorrow.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Cheers, Button. And Harley, if we can. Sorry, just jump in, sir. Just jump in. Harley, you kept with him for a bit, but just pulled gone.
Yeah, I tried to stay on the back wheel of Joe, and he's just got that much course knowledge around here. There was a couple of bits where I was maybe quicker than him, but there were certain sections like Ballabeg Airpin and Cross Fourways where he dragged 5 or 6 bike lengths on me every lap, so I had to try and make it up after that. I had a little bit of a look underneath him at Stadium on lap 1, but I thought I'm best off trying to learn something from him, to be honest. Yeah, happy with that result. Glad to get some racing in the sunshine around here as well. We've just had a little bit of lack of track time. We probably could have done with different gearing on the bike. It was a little bit over geared. We weren't changing into top till just going over the rise here on the start finish. So maybe a few alterations and we could have kept with Joe a little bit better. But overall happy with that.
And what about the 500 before? Big disappointment with that for you?
Yeah, it was a big disappointment. Was that we're in testing with the bike. Ted Wolf has been spending years and years trying to get that thing running. I'm a bit like the test pilot for it. I absolutely love riding the thing. And the hours he's put into it, it was undeserving, was that failure today. We really could have.
What was wrong, do you know?
Just the magneto, something failed in that. Simple as that. He's got the engine absolutely sweet as a nut. So we've had 2 magneto failings now this week, so it's a bit of a struggle. But yeah, John Sunter's worked tirelessly on this little K4 all week as well, making sure it's spot on for the race. So yeah, massive thanks to everyone. And my mum's listening back home, my sister as well. I'd like to give them a shout out. They'll be listening on the radio. And thanks again to Luke and Fiona for helping me today.
Good man, well done. Thank Harley, well done. Thank you very much. And let's get into Will. And goodness me, just move over this way a bit, Will, to the wheel up bite past there. You must have rode the wheels off that.
Oh, it's a long race. I lost so much time at the start. It just can't get the thing off the line with the Hondas, but I gave it everything I had and kept on pushing. I think Alan must have fell asleep because I took the length from his first corner to Iron Gate out of him on the second to last lap. But then on the last lap, he was right with me everywhere.
Can't give Alan a look in because he'll have a go, won't he?
Oh yeah, he passed me at Castletown corner, but I just managed to get him back before the line. That's pretty chuffed to get on the podium again with this, and I mean it was better last year when I stuffed all the Hondas, but at least got all but 2 this time.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. So there you go, folks. There's the top 3 in the Vintage Motorcycle Club Isleman section, and they're going to get the bikes out here very, very shortly. Rupert, you're going to do the presentation, sir. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to Rupert. He's going to do the presentation for the Vintage Motorcycle Club. Thank you, Rupert. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 3rd place, number 21, Will Loader. And Will gets the hat and the sparkling wine. In 2nd place, number 7, Harley Rushton. And now his 4th win around the Motor Isle Billown circuit for number 1, Joe Yeardsley. So well done to Will, well done to Harley, and well done to Joe. Tim, I'm going to hand back to you quickly to tidy up because the next race is on its way down already.
Well, we'll very quickly give you, thanks Chris, the order here, because it is the Fred Peck 400cc race. There's one additional entry, that is on pages 54 and 55 in the race guide in the programme. Do please take a copy, buy a copy of £7, help the club. On pole will be number 2, Alan Oversby. Then it's number 12, Richard Ford, and 41, Radley Hughes. 2nd row, we'll just give you that. Barry Davidson is number 40, and on that 2nd row with number 16, Owen Monaghan. And we also have Ashley Robson, number 79. So those are the front 2 rows. And some tremendous interviews there on that last race as well, conducted by Chris. But the riders all speaking extremely well indeed, and some real adventures out there. And you could hear the joy of competing here at the Motor Isle Billown Course. Well, we'll hand back to Chris. Bike's on the way back to you. They are trying to catch up time, but they're only about 5 minutes behind the schedule as it is.
Yeah, temperature's just dropping here a little bit as well, Tim. And as I look over towards the end of Scala, out towards a place called Pulvash, Sheila and the guys there have a farm. They'll be marshalling out there at Ballabeg today. It's just that dark cloud is just coming in again, and yeah, just when it started raining again yesterday, when it was dry and it started raining, the temperature dropped pretty rapidly. So I think the officials who are constantly in touch with the guys and girls there at the Rollinsway Met Office still get an update on that all the time. So we'll keep a little eye on that. So 61 just rolling into position from Kupamir. On the 400 Kawasaki, that is Leon Murphy on the 400 Kawasaki. Kawasaki seems to be the machine of choice here. The Kawasaki 400s, you've got a few 400 Hondas, you've got one 400 Yamaha in there for number 43 Dale Brew, and that's it. Machines are making their way out onto the circuit, and I love this class. It's a great little class. It's been around such a long time, the little 400s have there now. So, Rob Pritchard, your thoughts on this one out there across four ways as we get into the Fred Peck 400cc race. And this, I think, 1 lap reduction on this, so this will be a 5-lapper. Rob?
Yeah, 5-lap shootout, and you took the words right out of my mouth when you talked about the weather, Chris, because, yeah, we are seeing those ominous dark clouds making their way towards us. I think with the wind and the direction that it's been having over the last couple of days, it just seemed to hit us across four ways, maybe around 4 or 5 minutes after you guys experienced it down on Castletown Bypass as well. But, yeah, this could be a well-contested class, and as I mentioned at the start of today as well, the 400 class, when it became eligible in the classic racing side of things here at Billown, popular in terms of entries. They've actually had to rejig things. So again, just for a bit of context for those who don't know, this race, which is dubbed Race A, has previously here at the Pre-TT Classic been what's been known as the consolation race for certain capacity machines. But because of the sheer number of 400cc machines that they've had entered into this year's event, it is now effectively a class of its own as well. So just a reminder as well, there are a couple of differences in plates out there. They're all part of the 400cc class. The 350 class, blue plates with white numbers, and 400 class, orange plates and black numbers, and we can just hear them in the distance making their way towards us. So the sun just starting to move in to those clouds as they make it towards Cross Four Ways. We've still got that fairly brisk breeze, if you like, towards us that we've had throughout the day. So the temperature, yes, could drop. I'm glad of this jacket anyway, with the way that the cloud is making its way towards us. So number 2, Alan Oversby on pole, set the best lap time in qualifying of 2:47.608, 5.7 seconds quicker than the next nearest, which is number 12, Richard Ford, also on the front row as the travelling marshal makes his way towards us, followed by number 2, Alan Oversby, your pole sitter for this one. Looking a little bit further back, number 41, Radley Hughes, who completes the front row. 1.5 seconds back on Richard Ford. There's number 12, Richard Ford. Number 41, Radley Hughes. Number 16, Owen Monaghan, who was 5th quickest. Just 0.1 seconds back, though, as number 43, Dale Brew, on the way through. Whole scutch of machines on the way through now. At the back of that group of around 7 machines is number 40 outfit. Numbers 103, 89 on the way through. So at the back of the convoy there is number 89. Rob Lowe was involved in a great battle for a top 10 place at the in the last race that we just saw as well. So we mentioned Owen Monaghan, so up to the top 5. Owen Monaghan, like I said, only 0.1 seconds off the pace of number 40, Barry Davidson, 4th quickest in this particular class. 5.5 seconds back on that was the best time of number 79, Ashley Robson, who starts on the second row. That's one of the course inspection cars making their way past us at Cross Four Ways. Then number 102, Wayne Avis, been making waves over at Derby Airfield in the Andreas Racing Association Championship, 1.7 seconds further back in 7th. 8th, number 42, Stephen Moody, 8th quickest there. And then 9th quickest was number 43, Dale Brew, just 0.4 seconds back. And then only half a second back, number 72, Shelley Pike. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, travelling marshal just coming over School Hill Rise, and the first machine very tight in behind. And yes, ominous grey and dark clouds starting to come over, unfortunately. So we'll see if it skirts past us or not, but at the moment it looks like it's going to be a direct hit. There is number 2, Alan Oversby. Is he going to make it a hat-trick of wins here at this year's meeting and move to 17 and on his own right in second place? Number 12, Richard Ford, makes his way into the middle of the front row, and there's number 41, Radley Hughes. Third row, we gave you the first 2 rows. Third row is 102, Wayne Davis, 42, Stephen Moody, and 43, Dale Brew. Then the fourth row, 72, Shelley Pike, 81, Blake Kelly, and Neil Lloyd, number 75. Green light goes at the back. Headlights on the car on the top of the hill are very, very vivid now, and revs are up, and the hold, and away they go. And it's a good start on the inside by Radley Hughes, but a good start by Oversby too, Chris Kinley.
Could be anybody's this with Alan Oversby with his experience of all the wins around here, but it is number 16 from 2. There you go, 16 from 2. That's the only 2 I can catch there. So it's Owen Monaghan who run the 1:25 race a bit earlier on. He leads from 2, Alan Oversby.
And we've got a rider in, has not got away, number 40 it is. Number 40, Barry Davidson, and he's actually just got away now. But whether he pulls in where you are, Chris, we'll wait and see. But definitely a long hold, and the marshals were getting a little bit agitated as to whether to take him off the course or get him underway. But he's got underway, I'm glad to report. Number 40, he has continued on, but obviously is a long way back on the rest of the field, who were, well, round Ballachagan and heading towards Iron Gate, I suspect, by the time that Barry Davidson got on. So we'll keep an eye on his progress from the back of the field. At the back of the field was number 89, Rob Lowe. He was on row 6, and we'll give you the row 5, which we didn't. So we've got all the competitors mentioned. 23, Adrian Kershaw. 61, Liam Murphy. And 103, Thomas Bradshaw. Remember, this race was meant to be 6. It has been reduced to 5. And, well, people are starting to put coats and jackets on. So I think the temperature out there is dropping. So we'll just keep an eye as well on the race, on the weather as well. Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
First 2 machines interview. Number 16, Owen Monaghan leads from number 2, Alan Oversby here. Owen Monaghan leading through Crossways. And then number 41, Radley Hughes. And a whole scutch led by number 79, 23, 102. Only time for numbers 12, Richard Ford, 61, 72. So number 12, Richard Ford, has dropped back from the front row here. There's number 43 as well, Dale Brew on the way through Crossways. Number 81, Blake Kelly. And then 75 and 89 in order. Only time for numbers. As I say, they're on that scutch that have made their way through. So number 16, Owen Monaghan leads after starting on the second row from number 2, Alan Oversby. There's number 103, the newcomer Thomas Bradshaw, at the back of the convoy as well. And I just want to give a quick message out here from the, well, I just want to say a thank you to the marshals as the travelling marshal makes their way past. And there's number 40, Barry Davidson, at the back. They've provided us with sweets over here. Thank you very much to the marshals over there. I'll have to repay the favour somehow. I was told Christmas is in a few months' time as well, so I'll have to think about a present for them, won't I? But it is Monaghan who leads. To you, Tim.
Bridge. Yeah, 2 machines very, very close together. It's 16 and 2. 0.443. Monaghan leads Oversby. Here's the next 3 bikes. Said 3 bikes, and then within me saying that, it had extended to 7 that were in view. So 3rd is number 41, Radley Hughes. 4th is number 23, Adrian Kershaw. 5th, number 102, Wayne Avis. 6th, number 79, Ashley Robson. 7th, number 61, Leon Murphy. 8th, number 72, Shelley Pike. 9th, number 12, and that is Richard Ford. 10th is number 43, Dale Brew. 11th is number 89, that's Rob Lowe. 12th is number 81, Blake Kelly. 13th is 75, Neil Lloyd. 14th is number 103, Thomas Bradshaw. And in 15th, last place, number 40, Barry Davidson. But he is a mere now 9 seconds off the back of the lower order runners here. So I think he is going to make his way up that leaderboard. But it is Owen Monaghan that has a 0.443 second from that man. Number 2, Alan Oversby. 16 leads 2. Then it's Hughes, Kershaw, Avis, Robson, Murphy, Pike, Ford, Brew, Lowe, Kelly, Lloyd, Bradshaw and Davidson making inroads. Let's go out to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, they'd already opened up a bit of a gap, hadn't they? The front 2 here they come into Cross Four Ways. Number 16, Owen Monaghan, who's just opened up a couple more bike lengths in distance to number 2, Alan Oversby, but they're stealing a march on the rest of the field as it stands. It is that battle for 3rd at the moment that seems to be the big one. We heard number 41, Radley Hughes, who is coming towards Cross Four Ways, who's now being caught on the road by number 23, Kershaw, and then number 102, Wayne Avis, number 79, Ashley Robson, and number 61, Leon Murphy. That could turn into some battle. Numbers 72 and 12 on the way. So Richard Ford, who, as I mentioned, started on the front row and dropped back, just not able to make any inroads at the moment to try to get towards the front of the order, as number 43 joins us in as Dale Brew at Cross Four Ways, number 89, Rob Lowe, and then number 81, Blake Kelly in that order. So it's as you were at Cross Four Ways on the previous lap, as number 75, Neil Lloyd, comes past us here on the Lloyd's Racing Machine. It is number 16, Owen Monaghan, leading number 2, Alan Oversby. They've opened up a big gap to the group in behind. The big battle seems to be for third, because number 41, Radley Hughes, being caught by the group. To you, Tim.
2 together on the bridge, 2 together over the crest of the hill, but it is the same leader. Whoa, close as that, 0.424. Was that not just the second at the same distance last time on the last lap? Exactly the same. Owen Monaghan leads Alan Oversby, but there are a few spots of rain starting to fall down here now as well. 23, Adrian Kershaw has got up into third place, ahead of number 41, Radley Hughes. Then it's 102, Wayne Avis. It is 79, Ashley Robson, 61, Leon Murphy, 72, Shelley Pike, and 12, Richard Ford. But the rain is starting to fall as 43 goes through. There's 89, and there's 81. So that is Dale Brew, Rob Lowe, and Blake Kelly. There's number 75, Neil Lloyd, through. So it's 103 and 40 still to come. Is it going to be Davidson next? It is indeed Davidson, who has moved up a place, but and the last of our competitors here is number 103, and that is Thomas Bradshaw. But there are dark clouds now moving in, and brollies have gone up, and the rain jackets are going on, and the rain is coming down, so that will have an effect on this race. Programs and timekeepers' notes and everything else going into plastic to keep them dry. Let's go out to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways. There's drama everywhere you look down here this afternoon.
There is indeed, and there's a change at the front here. Number 2, Alan Oversby leads at Cross Four Ways on this third lap here. Here's number 16, Owen Monaghan, who's dropped back. He was just looking down at the left side of that machine. So is there a bit of a mechanical problem there for Owen Monaghan, who's dropped back? New leader at Cross Four Ways on this third lap. Number 2, Alan Oversby from number 16, Owen Monaghan, who is still circulating out there and trying to keep pace. Back up into third here is number 41, Radley Hughes. And now up to fourth is number 79, Ashley Robson. Then it's Kershaw, then it's Avis, and then it's Murphy here. So they're all changing in behind for that battle for third. It's numbers 72 and 12 on the way through. Shelley Pike and Richard Ford. We're just starting to get the first spots of rain here at Cross Four Ways as well, as seems to be the case. It seems to arrive here just a couple of moments after it does for you guys. But big change at Cross Four Ways is that number 2, Alan Oversby, has taken the lead. Number 16, Owen Monaghan, dropping back. A potential mechanical issue. We don't know, though. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, the rain flag's on display, and just one machine into view, and it is that number 2 outfit of Alan Oversby. No sign yet of number 16, Owen Monaghan. And it's a growing lead, 94.688 miles per hour on lap 2 for Oversby. And here is number 16. It is Owen Monaghan, but he's now 15.657 seconds down on Oversby. So must be an issue with the bike, or maybe with the weather. But there is another change for third. 79, Ashley Robson, and 41, Radley Hughes. And it does appear that Monaghan's bike is just running on 3 cylinders, is the observation from Chris Kinley further down the bypass here. Thank you for that information. 6th is number 61, Leon Murphy. 23, Adrian Kershaw is 7th. 8th for number 72, Shelley Pike. And 9th for number 12, Richard Ford. So it is Oversby aiming for a hat-trick of victories at this year's meeting, and a 17th victory around the Motor Isle Billown Course, and going second on his own in the all-time list. There is number 40, Barry Davidson, moving up a place now into 13th, ahead of number 75, Neil Lloyd. But Oversby a commanding lead now, from a misfiring, running on 3 cylinders machine, Owen Monaghan. And he has got dry tyres, I'm told, as well. So Alan Oversby with a big lead. Let's go to cross 4 ways. And Rob.
Still only just a couple of speckles of rain here at the moment across 4 ways. We can see it's pouring down over by South Brule in the distance as number 2, Alan Oversby, arrives again across 4 ways here. It's now a commanding lead from Oversby, who's searching for victory again here at this Billown Course meeting. Now we can feel the droplets of the rain starting to fall here across 4 ways. Alan Oversby's lead is commanding at the moment after we heard of those mechanical issues for Owen Monaghan here. That big battle, though, is going on in behind for 3rd place. It just seems to be switching left, right and centre, but we're only just now starting to hear those machines in the distance as well. Who's now going to be emerging? There is number 16, Owen Monaghan, but he's now being caught on the road by number 41, Radley Hughes, and number 79, Ashley Robson here. So we could see a change in the latter stages of this latest lap here as we just try and shield ourselves from the rain. Here's number 61, Leon Murphy, on the way through cross 4 ways as well, but it is definitely falling heavier now here on this near 3-mile marker of the Billown Course. There's number 23, that's Kershaw, and then number 72, Shelley Pike, on the way through as well. To you, Tim.
Yeah, looking up, and here he comes. He's on to his last lap. That is sounding so sweet, isn't it? That bike of Alan Oversby, the Kawasaki ZXR, prepared by Tony Leach Joinery. The Carnford rider is, well, just a few miles away from becoming the 2nd most successful rider of all time at this Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic. He'll move on to 17 victories as the rain seems to be getting a little bit heavier and certainly is closed in the direction it's coming from. 2 bikes together here. 79 and 41 it is. Ashley Robson is up into 2nd, and Radley Hughes, number 41, is up into 3rd, and there is number 16, Owen Monaghan, dropping down to 4th place, and 61 through is Leon Murphy. There's 23, and that is Adrian Kershaw, and 72 Shelley Pike, and 12 Richard Ford through. So the advantage then that Oversby now has over battling Robson and Hughes for 2nd and 3rd is 38.226 seconds as the rain gets pretty heavy now. Here at the start-finish line. It is absolutely bucketing it down now. So we're on the final lap. Oversby just a few miles from history. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Just come to a halt here, so there may be some updates heading to you over at Race Control.
Yeah, I can confirm that the red flag is out here now. The red flag is on display here at the start-finish line. So we are on the last lap of the Fred Peck 400cc race. And, well, it is pretty heavy rain, to say the least, now down here on the start-finish line, and looks very dark in the direction that it's coming. Haven't had a look at the rain radar as such yet, but the weather certainly closing in. It might have had something to do with what the flags are for. We'll wait and see. We will get, of course, an update from the clerk of the course, and as soon as we get that, we will bring that to you. But it was Alan Oversby who was ahead in that race. And, well, it's gone to the third lap there, but we have no news as such as yet. As soon as we get any news, we will bring that to you. In the meantime, until we get an update, we'll hand it back to Ben Hartley at Broadcasting House.
Oh, when you're looking at the sun, not a fool, not a fool, not a fool. No, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, we've got an update now. The red flag has been put out because of the obvious change to the conditions. Didn't want to overly speculate on that, but I had a feeling it may well have been due to the rain. The rain is really heavy now, and of course this race started in bone dry conditions. So the phrase used was due to climatic conditions. I think we can say lots of other ways to describe the conditions here, but we're on air and we will be polite. It is absolutely throwing it down. Let's put it that way. So that is the reason for the delay, and well, it is torrential now out here. So I think they've been looking at the rainfall radar and everything else, and just saw that there's probably a multicoloured blob of rainfall coming towards us, probably with yellows, oranges and reds in, which indicates the heavier rain, because that's exactly what we've got here on the start and finish line. And it's been enough for people to decide to escape the grandstand and seek some shelter. It is absolutely hoeing it down, as we say here on the Isle of Man. It is pouring down, and it doesn't look, I'm trying to just look a little bit brighter maybe over in the distance, but of course the roads are getting extremely wet as we build up. I can tell you though that they've gone back a lap. It's the conditions of how they declare a result, so they have gone back a lap. So it's whatever the result was at the end of lap 3, which I can bring you now. And that is that the win will go to number 2, Alan Oversby. So that is his 17th victory. Second will be number 16, Owen Monaghan. So it's actually played into his hands a little bit. And in third place will be number 79, Ashley Robson, according to the screen, which has gone back to the end of lap 3 in front of me. The rest of the result would be fourth, number 41, Radley Hughes. Fifth, number 61, Leon Murphy. Sixth, number 23, Adrian Kershaw. Seventh, number 72, Shelley Pike. And eighth, number 12, Richard Ford. So Alan Oversby has made history, but it's probably not in the circumstances that he wanted to. But nevertheless, it is a victory in any case, and that moves him now ahead of Bill Swallow. Bill Swallow is now the third most successful rider, because Alan Oversby has moved up onto 17 and is now 4 behind Mike Hose in the all-time list of winners. There's definitely brighter skies further back, but we've got machines out on the course at the moment that will need to be brought back, and then Chris will be able to do the winners' ceremony. But well, that's a proper downpour, it has to be said, down here. A real deluge, and I suspect the same conditions could be true out there at Cross Four Ways with Rob Pritchard, who's hopefully inside the van with his microphone rather than still on the scaffolding. Rob, are you there?
I am indeed, and your assumptions are correct, Tim. I've taken shelter in the Manx radio van here. It really has absolutely started to pour down, hasn't it? I don't think Mother Nature was going to let us take it easy given the last couple of days that we have had, but they're working through it as best they can here. It is absolutely persisting down here at Cross Four Ways as it is around the course. We can only hope, I guess, that the conditions do improve to allow the next couple of races to take place. We have, of course, heard from Tim there that the result has been declared from that 400cc race. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess, is the simplest way of putting it, to see how those different races may unfold and what updates may come, because as Tim also rightly mentioned, there are machines still stopped out on course from when the session was stopped due to the change in the conditions. In the meantime, I'm going to try and stay as warm and toasty as possible, as I'm sure you are, and I'm sure Chris Kinley is in what is probably his 47th copy of the pre-TT programme after all the others have been destroyed. So we're going to try and stay sheltered, as I'm sure everyone else is. In the meantime, back to you.
Yeah, 47 programmes. It's probably not far off. I can see a little bit of blue sky in the direction of from where the rain and weather is coming from. So hopefully, although it's still pretty heavy, it's just backing off a little bit now compared to what it was, but it's gone very dark indeed, and all the spectators quite rightly have decided to go and seek whatever shelter they can. Marshals have retreated in here now as well in order to get coats and everything else on. Everything that equipment-wise is being wrapped in plastic to help with keeping everything dry. I can see on the start-finish line gantry here, the stopwatches are now wrapped up, and the binoculars that they use to spot the numbers and keep a tally on the runners and riders here is now absolutely wrapped in as much plastic as they can get away with without blocking the lens from being able to do the job. So I do hear that the rain is beginning to stop down at the paddock, which is good news. So it is definitely looking brighter as I look down the road towards the hut, as it's still referred to, the clubhouse, and we're in the bus, it's still referred to here, but it is Race HQ. And also say that the marshals, travelling marshals, have left and have set themselves on their way, I think, to gather up the competitors and bring them round at a nice leisurely pace and a safe pace back here. That was a major change in the weather that brought the red flag out, and rightly so, the race stopped, because all the prep and the setup before those machines went out was for a dry weather race, as it was bone dry when they set off. But unfortunately the weather really closed in, and it's going to be interesting to see what the organisers do now, because the next race due is race 8, the senior superbikes, already reduced by a lap from 7 to 6. Well, these are, of course, powerful bits of kit that are now faced with a pretty wet Billown course, but at least it's pretty wet all the way round. So 2 races due still to come. We've got the Sidecar race as well. That is staying, as far as we know, at the 4 laps. So it is a 7 reduced now to 6 lap ugly post-classic senior superbike race. And we've also got race 9 to conclude with. And race 9 is the Cheesden Rentals Sidecar Classic Race 2. So I'll just move those sheets of paper aside, and there's hints of the sun beginning to come out here at the start-finish line, and you can see a bit of steam, it looks like, rising from the road surface now, the wet road surface, and hopefully, well, it's going to take quite a lot of steam to allow that to all burn away. I was telling you earlier about the race organisation here reverting back to the Southern 100 racing away from ACU events, and just to finish that, because we nipped out to one of our co-commentators here, the club says they are grateful to the current clerk of the course, Charles Ollie, for his input and guidance during those negotiations, and are pleased to confirm that Giles, along with the deputy clerk of the course, Andy Brown, and the event safety officer, Tony McBride, will be joining the Southern 100 family and continue in those senior positions, as will other officials currently in position for the 2 road races which are held annually down here on the Motor Isle Billown Course. So that allows me just to complete that reorganisation. And of course, I think we've managed to get away without referring to the previous sponsor who was there for a number of years of the actual Billown Course, and we do extend on behalf of the club big thanks to them. But we do have new sponsors of the Billown Course, and you'll have heard us make mention of it. Motor Isle may seem like a new name in Isle of Man road racing, but it is in fact a rebanded evaluation of Bowmanx Productions, which is the company behind the globally recognised sidecar racing brand Three Wheeling and its sister brand Two Wheeling Classics. I'm going to quickly head out to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways because I think we've got bikes heading out and through there, and we'll just get a quick update from Rob.
Yeah, and I've just relocated with the sun coming out just to right next to the course here, so I'm not on the scaffolding. I'm actually down just a little bit to the left-hand side, a bit closer, I guess, to where my predecessor Roy Moore used to set up down by the fence side here, just looking out in front of us. You mentioned that steam coming off the surface. That is definitely the case here at Cross Four Ways. The sun is back out, but just looking down in front of me, there is a little bit of standing water on that inside line. Again, like we've seen earlier throughout this meeting, it's not on the racing line, but it is just sat right in front of us. So as the competitors are coming into Cross Four Ways, just to try and paint a picture for you, on that right-hand side, you'd have to be taking a very shallow line into Cross Four Ways to come anywhere near to that. The steam is quite profound, actually. Yes, just again, a little bit of an update on the course as well. Everything's still under red flag conditions here, but we have seen the machines that were stopped because of the weather conditions in that previous session. They have made their way past us in the last minute or so, along with a couple of the travelling marshals as well. So machines are on their way back to the paddock. Back to you, Tim.
They are indeed. They're just passing me right now under the escort of the travelling marshal. And we'll hand down to Chris for the ceremony as soon as we get the wink. It's Oversby, number 2, number 16, Owen Monaghan, and 79, Ashley Robson, which, according to the screen, will be the podium. And they are all through now, and there is the travelling marshal at the back. So hopefully that is all of the competitors returned from that 400 Fred Peck 400cc race, which was red flagged on the 4th lap as torrential rain started to come down here after a bone dry start. Looking out towards the direction of the weather, there's a little bit more of a dark cloud further out that way, so well, we'll just keep the literal weather eye on it. So as I was telling you, Motor Isle have taken on the Billown Course sponsorship. And of course, Chris Bowman, no stranger to events around the Isle of Man, particularly in sidecar races, where under the Three Wheeling media banner, he and his company have now sponsored 2 sidecar races at the Blackford's Pre-TT road races since 2022, and they do the 2 sidecar races at the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company Southern 100 road races, and provide additional media coverage through their extensive social media channels. So it's pretty evident with if you look around here, there's the posters on some of the banners and the safety equipment round here with the Motor Isle branding on there. And the quote in the release from Chris Bowman, the founder of Motor Isle, is it's a huge honour for Motor Isle to become the title sponsor of the Billown Course, a course with such a rich heritage in real road racing. Our passion has always been to celebrate and promote motorsport, and this partnership allows us to do exactly that while strengthening our commitment to the Southern 100. And the Southern 100 Club at the same time have expressed their appreciation to Colas Isle of Man for their previous support and sponsorship of the friendly races. They are, of course, based very near to Rob there at Cross Four Ways, just up the road towards Foxdale. And Colas have been associated with the road races over a number of years and became the official course sponsor in 2018 through to the conclusion of the 2024 racing season. Let's go down to Chris Kinley for the podium for the previous race. Chris.
Yeah, Alan's with us now. Alan Oversby, and we had a quick discussion off air, which we're not going to repeat because it's what we said, how the conditions were out there. But hey, Al, another win around here, but that was tough out there when that rain. That was heavy. It was horrid, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it got really slippy as soon as it started raining. That were it. Tried to go. I didn't know whether they were going to stop race, so I tried to go as hard as I could, but it was getting bad.
And you pulled a big gap on Owen at one lap. I think his machine, it sounded like it went on to 3 cylinders when I went past here.
Right. Oh, I don't know.
I think he stopped the cross 4 ways, I think you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, he stopped there again. Yeah.
17 wins around here now.
That'll do.
You only got another 5 to get past Hose.
Oh, is it 5?
I think it's 5, yeah. I think he's done 21 or something like that. But he's done quite a lot, a few more.
Yeah, I'll get my finger out then, won't I?
Back next year.
Yeah, definitely
Absolutely
back.
good, man. Thank you, Al. Well done. Where's Ashley up here? And up on... there we go, Ashley. How are you, Ash? How was that?
It was great, yeah, apart from the rain at the end there. But no, it's good fun.
You being a Scottish lady will be used to rain.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have much experience in the rain, so what can you do?
What do you think of the Billown circuit, though? I mean, Alan was just saying so slippy, but when it's dry, superb.
Oh yeah, when it's dry, amazing. But as soon as that rain drops, that's it. It's pretty skatey out there. But we had a moment, but we're all good.
Where was the moment at? Can you remember?
Yeah, Church Bends coming around the left. Maybe put it on a little bit too quickly, and the whole thing went sideways. But we kept it, so it's all good.
The wee crown in the road as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I managed to catch it before we clipped the curb, but it's all right.
Well done, Ash. Well done. Thank you. Well done. Thank you very much. 3rd place. Well done. Now, I think the Southern 100 guys are here. Now, we don't have the 2nd place guy, unfortunately. He's coming back in the car, we're being told. So are we hanging on till then, are we? Well, don't forget, we've got the big bikes coming out. Hello. He's on his way back. Yeah, I've just been told that. But don't forget, the big bikes are out next. It's the senior classic, senior super bikes, and they're going to have to change. A lot of them will be already on the dry tyres, so they'll probably have to change to the wets. So we'll just give it a moment, Tim. Just hand back to you. We'll just wait for. Hopefully, Owen will arrive very, very shortly, and we can get the presentation done.
Okay, thank you, Chris. We'll keep an eye on the railway bridge for a car rather than bikes on this occasion. But it's just saying thanks from the organisers to Colas, because they've been the official course sponsor from 2018 through to 2014. And they've also been Colas were also responsible for the course signage, and latterly the grandstand, first situated at Ballakegan, then at Iron Gate. They were also title sponsors of the popular post-TT road races in 2019, and Southern 100 Racing say they're extremely grateful to the managing director Clive Callister for his input to the popular races over the last 7 years, which has seen the events go from strength to strength, and wish him and his colleagues well as the company moves into new local hands. Well, the sun is back out down here. There are a few more clouds away in the direction that the weather seems to be coming from, but there will, of course, be an awful lot of changes having to be made ahead of that racing. Just going to mention a few people associated with the racing here at the Southern 100 that have passed away, sadly, during the past year. And one is, of course, the 1966 500cc champion Selwyn Griffiths, who passed away, unfortunately, this year, aged 83. And the Southern 100 Club was saddened to learn of his passing at the beginning of this year in January. I'm also going to mention a couple of others. I'm going to have to flick through my notes to find them, because I haven't put them all together, unfortunately. Selwyn Griffiths was definitely a great presence down here, and of course his son passed on their condolences to his son Jason and family when the passing was noted at the start of the year. And another sad loss happened a little bit earlier in December 2024, and that was a great stalwart of the Southern 100, Desi Evans. He'd battled illness for the last few months, and he raced at the Southern 100 between 1959 and 1967 before taking up travelling marshal duties in 1971, which he continued through to the end of 2002, when he vacated the bike saddle for a steward seat in 2003, which he occupied until the end of 2022. Dad was also the rider's liaison and welfare officer between 1984 and 2000. And away from the friendly races, Des Evans was also involved in the Manx Motorcycle Club as a senior official at the Manx and the TT, as well as a previous competitor there. He's always cheerful and smiling, was Des, and you always had a very interesting chat, and his presence here at Billown will be sorely missed by a large vacuum that is left, and fond memories. And of course they were almost inseparable. We had his wife Wynne as well, who has put in as equally as much sterling work. So race 8 has been declared a wet race. That is, of course, the next one due, the Ugly Post Classic Senior Superbike. And it's now going to be run over just the 5 laps. So should be getting underway in the next 5 minutes or so. So it is now a further reduction from the 7 to 6 to now 5 laps, and officially a wet race. So we'll start to build up now towards that. And yes, condolences as well, obviously, to Wynne and the extended family. And there were a couple that were very much had the interests of road racing around the island very much in their hearts. So the next race then, a wet race for the senior superbikes, and in pole position will be Joe Yeardsley. Then we'll have number 45 Andrew Farrell and number 44 Grant Thompson. The second row will be number 0 Andy Hornby, number 13 Mikkel de Koppel, and it says number 33 Chris Moore, but I'd be very surprised to see him from what he was saying on the podium yesterday. It did imply that he was going to give today a miss. And just further news from the clerk of the course, they're just waiting for some standing water from that deluge to be cleared, and there's some sweeping as well taking place as well in places. So it might be a little bit more than 5 minutes, but the car is returning, and hopefully in that car will be our man for the podium. So as soon as we hear from Chris, we'll return to just dot the I's and cross the T's in relation to the last race. So I don't think we'll have number 33 Chris Moore on that second row, going on what he was telling us on the podium last night. Third row is number 96 Damien Crook, number 4 Mike Hose, and number 48 Michael Bampton. Fourth row is number 82 Keith Pringle, number 6 Adrian Harrison, and number 26 Dennis Booth. Fifth row, number 74 Scott Wilson, number 100 Heffin Owen, and number 77 is Neil Rutledge. And without any further ado, let's go down to Chris Kinley.
We do have our second place finishers just jumped out of the car. Haston, he wasn't driving, doesn't have a bite. Owen, well done to you, second place. Obviously the rules are they go back a lap if it gets stopped, so you get second place.
Well, brilliant.
What happened to the bike? It sounded like he's running a bit rough coming through here.
To be honest, yeah, it was getting hotter and hotter. I put too much tape on the radiator, and I was trying to pull it off halfway around, and yeah, it was blowing water in my face, so I didn't actually realise it was that wet for a while, because I was raining all water in my visor. But yeah, happy days. I was enjoying trying to keep ahead of Alan for a little bit, but yeah, he flew past me when he decided to, so that was wicked. Good fun.
Well done.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Well done, Owen Monaghan. There you go. All right, folks, so we're going to do the Fred Peck 400cc presentation now, and the lady can go up and do the presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, in third place and the first podium at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT, 79, Ashley Robson. Well done, Ash. Second position, number 16, Owen Monaghan. And 17 wins around the Motorol Billown circuit now for number 2, Alan Oversby. So well done to Alan, gets the hat, gets the sash, and gets the Forage and Vintners wine. So well done to Ashley, well done to Owen, and well done to Alan. We'll get set up for the next race, and back to Tim.
Thank you very much, Chris. Much better conditions now, and that wind seems to have picked up again. So that will help with the drying of the roads. Will take quite a considerable amount of sunshine and wind to get completely dry. But just to emphasise, it is a wet race again. For the next event, the senior superbikes, and it's been reduced to 5 laps. So let me just pick up then on the 4th row of the grid. 82 Keith Pringle, 6 Adrian Harrison and 26 Dennis Booth. 5th row Scott Wilson, number 100 is 74, number 100 Heffin Owen, and number 77 Neil Rutledge. 6th row is number 46 Emmett Burke, number 83 Keith Pringle, and number 68, Roddy Taylor. 7th row is number 102, Wayne Avis. 85, Neil Champion. And number 12, Richard Ford. The 8th row, number 60, Roger Wibberley. Number 88, Leon Donaghy. And number 31, Colin Croft. And then the 9th row is employed for the first time at this meeting. Number 93, Rob Mitchell-Hill. Number 122, Israel Gillette. And number 52, Brian Clark. So they are the runners and riders. But I don't think we will have Chris Moore on the grid. I think he may well be putting his efforts into the TT. The one additional entry, we mentioned him there on row 7. And this is on pages 56 to 57 in your programme. Wayne Avis, number 102. He's on a 750 Suzuki 1998 vintage, and a change of machine is for number 100 Heffin Owen. He's down in the programme as being on a 750 Yamaha. He is, in fact, that's what he is on, is what the change of machine is telling me here. That is the same as what the programme is, so I'm not quite sure what that one is. But maybe it's a different Yamaha. I don't know. But just cover ourselves as we go past. And quite a bit of drying still to take place. Just going to look at the original schedule. This race was originally due away at 4, so we're coming up to about 10 past 4 as we speak. In fact, just clicked over to exactly 10 past 4 as we put that in. And just getting a message in, actually, from Sue Corrin that we had that thunder-type shower in Ramsey some time ago. Thankfully, when it stopped, the roads dried really quickly in the wind and the sun. Well done for all the coverage, and hoping all gets back underway safely. Thank you. So, yep, the weather seems to have hit the island in various ways and at various times, but in a pretty heavy way. But I can indeed start to see some drier patches beginning to appear in front of me here. So we were just talking about Wynne and Desi Evans, and they were an inseparable team for nearly 60 years and looked after the welfare of competitors and officials at Billown, the Snaefell Mountain Course, and the Jervey Road and Aerodrome racing up there at Andreas, and involved in the Southern 100. So rest in peace is the message shown to Des and to Wynne. And may the compassion shown by Des and Wynne over the years of service they've given to road racing in the Isle of Man and further afield be returned to Wynne and the family. That's obviously a sad time. So we mentioned about the schedule, and another one I should mention as well is Jim Curry, a past competitor down at the Southern 100 racing between 1963 and 1968, and twice a winner on the 4.25 mile Billown course. He passed away as well within the last year, and 700 I'm sure will want to pay their respects to him, and rest in peace to Jim Curry. sun is blazing away here. The wind is still blowing. I'm just going to pop out to Rob Pritchard there at Cross Four Ways and just see how the roads are drying out that way, because that was a bit of a mini monsoon we got there, Rob.
It was indeed, wasn't it? I mean, I took refuge. I don't think I've moved any faster off this scaffolding once the session was stopped. And just across from me, again, just to paint a bit of a picture, there is a crop field right in front of us, but there is areas around the outskirts of it where spectators can stand and watch from behind the wall, of course. And it was just a miniature stampede of people maybe getting to their cars or just finding some form of shelter to get out of that deluge here. In the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes or so, we've had the marshals out just trying to sweep away those big globules, if you like, of standing water that had appeared in the usual places on the edges of the roads, and they've done a fantastic job because they've been able to get rid of huge amounts of that standing water. And actually looking down on the entrance into Cross Four Ways as well, I can actually say that little patches are starting to dry out. There is a camber on this particular section between ourselves and also the de-restricted signs just before that little compression on the left-hand side that the competitors have to deal with. Right down the centre of the road, that is still already starting to dry out. A couple of tiny bits of standing water out on the outskirts, but that's to be expected after a deluge like that. But certainly improving at the moment. We have blue skies above us. Yes, we've got that cloud coming in as well. No doubt we'll be mindful of that. But yeah, the marshals have been doing a great job here in just clearing what they can, as they've had to deal with throughout all of the sessions so far, pretty much, haven't they? But yes, slowly but surely improving at the moment. Of course, I don't want to curse anything at all in terms of the weather. I think it's already shown its hand plenty today. Interestingly, South Barrule has come back into crystal clear view in front of me as well. I remember it was moments before the deluge hit us at Cross Four Ways that South Barrule was just enveloped in that shower. That was the warning sign, I think, for me, that weather was on the way. But again, just to summarise very quickly, the conditions are improving here, it seems. There are dry patches starting to emerge out on the course. And yes, I guess we wait to see, I should say, what will happen next. Everyone waiting very patiently, and plenty. I did mention this actually just before. I referenced it at the start of the day as well. It's packed here at Cross Four Ways with spectators. Yes, some did run for cover in the rain, but there's plenty who still braved the conditions. And again, just to mention also, not just for the spectators here today, but over the course of the meeting so far as well, those who have stood out in those appalling conditions that we had on both Friday evening and Saturday evening as well. Really testament to the commitment there. And I think it's about time to hand over to Chris Kinley down in the paddock.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Just having a look at the bypass road. It is drying. It does dry quite quick. It is quite warm, and that sun's come out. But its tyres is going to be the big thing. These obviously post-classic senior superbikes, mainly 750s. Grant Thompson on the 44 right next to us gives us a thumbs up. He's on the full wets. Now, I'm not sure if it is confirmed, Tim. Maybe you can find this out, but we have heard down here that it could be a 5-lap race, so we'll get that officially from you guys up there. But it was originally 7 and it was cut to 6, and then I have heard it could go down to a 5-lapper, so we'll keep a little ear on for that. It is a 5 confirmed, so that is good news. So Grant Thompson on the pole, he's on wets. 96 just in behind there. Damien Crook, another one of our local guys in Douglas on the GSXR S-Rad Suzuki, he's on the full wets as well. I think that will be the choice, really, because they aren't really going to destroy these. They're not the 200 and some odd horsepower machines that we're going to be seeing at the TT, and hopefully tomorrow, if the old weather gods play nice to us. And Mike Hose, he runs his number 4 machine up into his position on the 1-2 third row there, alongside number 96 Damien Crook. And we're waiting for 45 there, and that will be Andy Farrell. Yeah, Andy Farrell will slot his machine into the middle. We're running, of course, the Martin Finnegan number, the Skerries man. And Martin Finnegan, I often think of Martin once coming down here to one of the meetings, and he was down here racing, and he just gripped me. And for those who will remember Martin, he was a big lad, and he gripped me, and we just had a bit of a wrestle. He won, though, hands down, absolutely. Sadly missed, and lost his life in that incident over there in Ireland a good few years ago now. So yeah, sadly missed. So the Skerries man riding the number 45 in memory of Martin, and it does look nice, that Ducati really does. The 851. And who we got there? We're waiting for, haven't got him here yet. Now, I don't think we are going to have Joe Yeardsley. I don't think Joe is going to be here, to be fair, because obviously he's got TT to think about. Andy Hornby is in the grid slot just behind him. Definitely not going to have Chris Moore like you, Tim. I had a chat with him yesterday, and he said, yeah, he won't be out. Obviously, the 250 is an important thing for him. Grant Thompson, the first bike out. Andy Farrell with wets on his. Everybody's on wets, really. Nobody being on the dries at all, just having a quick look. Yeah, they're going slow enough for me to see. Maybe Roger Wibberley on the number 60 could have been on dries, and maybe number 13, Michael Indy de Koppel on the GSXR SRAD. He possibly on dries as well, but a lot of the guys are running those full wets, okay? So look out for that when they come through to you, Rob. On this 5-lapper now, the Ugly Post Classic Senior Superbike race, over 5 laps. They're making the way, splashing the way down Iron Gate, I would say. And it'll be right slippy there under the trees, going down through Joey's Gate, etc. That little overhang on the left-hand side. And then, of course, when they get down through Williams and that sort of section by the Hamptons farm there, that'll be quite slippy there too. But they're making the way to you, Rob.
Yeah, good chance on this sighting lap just to get used to the conditions after that barrage of rain that we had. And actually, just in the last couple of minutes since you last caught up with us at Cross Four Ways, the road is really starting to dry out on the approach into Cross Four Ways at the moment, particularly in the centre of the road. As mentioned, there's quite a big camber on that road here as well, so that'll no doubt help with the drainage. And as we mentioned before, the marshals were shoveling the standing water away into the drains around us as well, so they cleared a fair bit of that as well. And just going off what Chris was saying there as well, in terms of where the cover is on the exit across Four Ways, of course, we do have that canopy of trees on the run towards Church Bends as well. So no doubt just a chance for those riders and the travelling marshals out there just to get a good gauge of what is going on as well. So we will keep an eye out for what machines are going out for this shortened post-classic senior superbike race. We mentioned there that number 33, Chris Moore, may not be taking part, and we wonder if we're going to see the number 1 outfit of Joe Yeardsley as well on the Mistral Racing Kawasaki. So we can hear them in the distance making their way towards us. It's drying largely in the centre of the road here. It's coming into Cross Four Ways as well. Still a bit of dampness in and around the edges, as you probably expect. Here is the travelling marshal on the way through to us. Leading that pack is number 44, Grant Thompson. Number 0, Andy Hornby. Number 96, Damien Crook. And number 4, Mike Hose as well. So not seeing the number 1 outfit of Joe Yeardsley. Number 44, 5, I should say, Andrew Farrell there. Qualified on the front row as well. Number 6, 48, 100, 46, 74, 83, 77, 68, 60, 85, 88, 12, 26, 31, 52, 93 and 13. No number 33 as we possibly suspected in there. So we've not seen the number 1 machine of Joe Yeardsley, and from what we were hearing the other day, the number 33 machine of Chris Moore we haven't seen as well on the sighting lap here. Last machine through here, just dropping back a little bit, number 122, Israel Gillette on the Ducati from Jonesborough. And then just very quickly take a look through a couple of the timings from the qualifying session. Remember, that afternoon qualifying was a dry session as well, so we are expecting timings around that to change. Joe Yeardsley was quickest to 2:31.130, just 1.3 seconds back though. Number 45, Andrew Farrell, 2:32.505, and then a further 1.907 seconds back, number 44, Grant Thompson as well, 2:34. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you very much. Yes, the yellow flags for each row of the grid are out now, and we can see the travelling marshal just very gently bringing these bikes down School Hill and into our view, and they will now start to form the grid. The travelling marshal will just pull off the road and be based here for the start of this race. And I'm glad to see Mike Hose has taken his position. Just keeping an eye on him. We've got so used to him riding through the grid and retiring. Number 0, Andy Hornby, just off his bike, making a couple of adjustments on the left-hand side there. And our man effectively now on pole is Andrew Farrell, but Andy Hornby will have a clear bit of road in front. Number 13 has just gone straight through. That's Michael de Koppel, and I think Chris was saying that he felt he maybe had selected the dry tyre option, and I think from having now gone round on that warm-up lap, he's decided, I'm not risking that. No way, no chance. I should be on wets. I've made a mistake, and of course, for the TT's sake, he will be making sure that he concentrates on that now. We're waiting for the flag to go up at the back of the grid before the sign goes up. So red still at the moment. We're waiting for the green being waved, so engage gear, flipped around to watch the lights, and we'll be away any moment now. Revs are up and away we go, and a good start it was by Andy Hornby. Let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, you quite rightly said he had a big gap in front of him, but it is Andy Farrell with the lead. It's 45 from 44 and 96. Your first three machines, 44, 45, 44 and 96.
Yes, it was a bit weird. He got away off the line really quickly and then sort of seemed to stall a little bit. So it was a great start until we looked sort of sideways out the window, and it seemed to be a little bit of a different perspective. But a good start then by Andrew Farrell. So a 5-lap race it is. No Joe Yeardsley, no Chris Moore, and no Michael de Koppel, who just rode straight through. Wasn't really hanging around either. It just decided, I've made the wrong tyre choice here. I'm not going to risk it for a biscuit, and I'll just keep myself safe, and quite rightly done as well. The race record for here over the 6 laps was an average speed. We're not going to see that today. Even the average speed for the race record of 104.846 miles per hour. And Joe Yeardsley has the lap record. These were both set in 2023 at 106.535 miles per hour. No chance of seeing that today. Let's go out to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
First lap of the post-classic senior superbike race. So with those additional non-starters and a couple of those in the front 2 rows, I should say as well, what will that have played in terms of the opening strategy going into the likes of Ballakagan and on their way towards us? Wait to see the first machine in the distance. 2 have skipped out front here. Who's this? It's a crossface. It's number 45, Andrew Farrell. Number 44, Grant Thompson, making a move and takes the lead at Cross Four Ways. There's number 0, Andy Hornby. Number 4, Mike Hose, and number 96, Damien Brook. 83 as well, then 100, 48, 82, 74, 77, 6, 46 and 85 on the way through as well. 88, 31, Colin Croft, 12, Richard Ford, 60, 26, 52 and 93 in that order. So we're quite close together, a lot of the field there, but 2 out front there, Grant Thompson and Andrew Farrell, have made the break for it at Cross Four Ways. It was Andrew Farrell initially leading on the approach, and then Grant Thompson with a swift move up the inside at Cross Four Ways, taking the lead. Has he held it on the exit? We'll have to wait and see. There go the 2 travelling marshals past us as well. That field is quite tightly bunched up as the road continues to dry. Quite a big rate here on the approach into Cross Four Ways. But anyone's game at the front of that on the opening lap. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, it's a few drops of rain falling here, and the rain flag up at the top of the hill. It's 44 that leads Grant Thompson by half a second ahead of 45, Andrew Farrell. There's number 0, Andy Hornby in third. He's 5.8 back on the leader. Number 4, Mike Hose, just indicating, I think, that he's going to be retiring yet again. He was in 4th place. Pretty sure Mike Hose indicated the arm went up that he was going to retire. We'll wait to have that confirmed. In 5th, number 96, Damien Crook, and he is a retirement. Number 4, Mike Hose. 6th, number 83, Keith Pringle. 7th, number 82, Andy McAllister. 8th, number 74, Scott Wilson. 9th, number 6, Adrian Harrison. 10th, number 77, and that is Neil Rutledge. 11th is 46, Emmett Burke. 12th is 85, Neil Champion. 13th is 88, Leon Donaghy. 14th is 48, Michael Bampton. Then it's Roddy Taylor, Colin Croft, Heffin Owen, Richard Ford, Roger Wiverley, Dennis Booth, Brian Clark and Rob Mitchell-Hill. But it's Thompson, half a second, 0.596 of a second. Number 44 leads number 45, Andrew Farrell. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, we've got those little speckles of rain ourselves here, and it will be contrasting conditions. As we mentioned, it's drying out nicely on the approach to Cross Four Ways, but that twisting turning section back to from Ballabeg and onwards will be a little bit different. Number 44, Grant Thompson, all alone at the front here at Cross Four Ways on lap 2, and dropping back by a fair few seconds. Number 45, Andrew Farrell, he's lost some significant ground on Thompson. And catching him, number 0, Andy Hornby as well. So he's coming into contention. There is number 83, Keith Pringle, going extremely well in this second lap. Number 96, Damien Crook, and number 82, Andy McAllister, battling through cross 4 ways there. There's number 100, Heffernan Owen, on the way through as well. 74, 6 and 46, that trio in order. And then it's 85, 77 and 88. And then just a couple more seconds further back is the number 68 outfit of Roddy Taylor. Number 48, Michael Bampton. 31, Colin Croft, Dennis Booth. And then number 60 as well, Roger Whibley is in there. So Grant Thompson leading again at cross 4 ways as 2 more machines make their way into the turn here. But Grant Thompson has opened up a big gap to number 45, Andrew Farrell, there of a couple of seconds there. I just wonder, as Grant Thompson just had a little bit better in one of the corners. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, machine into view. This is our race leader. It is 44. 93.979 miles per hour in these conditions. There is number 45, Andrew Farrell. And here is number 0, Andy Hornby. So there's 12.5 seconds between the top 3. 8.2 seconds is the lead that Thompson has over Farrell. Then it's 83, Keith Pringle. 82, Andy McAllister, 5th. 6th, number 96, Damien Crook. Up into 7th, number 6, Adrian Harrison. 8th, number 74, Scott Wilson. 9th, number 100, Heffernan Owen. 10th, number 85, Neil Champion. 11th, number 77, Neil Rutledge. 12th, number 88, Leon Donaghy. 13th is number 68, Roddy Taylor. 14th is 31, Colin Croft. 15th is 26, Dennis Booth. 16th, number 60, Roger Whibley. 17th is number 12, Richard Ford. 18th, number 48, Michael Bampton. 19th, number 52, Brian Clark. 20th, number 93, Rob Mitchell-Hill. And 4 and 46 are noted as retirements. And 48 we're hearing is a retirement as well. So number 48, Michael Bampton, has retired. So at the top, Grant Thompson is 8.216 seconds in the lead of Farrell and Hornby. Let's go back to Robert Cross 4 ways.
Just want to point out there, actually, number 83, Keith Pringle there, started from the 6th row and up into 4th. That is astonishing, that, as number 44, Grant Thompson, arrives again across 4 ways. We do have some droplets of rain still falling here. A couple more brollies have been deployed across the road from me, but he's maintaining and possibly extending that advantage now. Number 44, Grant Thompson, from this man. Number 45, Andrew Farrell. We did hear Grant Thompson, he was enjoying the wet weather last time they went out. Farrell just seems to have opened up a bit more of a gap to number 0, Andy Hornby. There is number 83, Keith Pringle. So that is some start that Keith Pringle has had to this race. Number 82, Andy McAllister, and then number 96, Damien Crook. So the field starting to spread out just a little bit more as it stands. There's number 100, Heffernan Owen. Number 6, Adrian Harrison, and number 74, Scott Wilson. Now, Wilson just seems to have dropped back a couple of places, it seems, from the start-finish line on Castletown Bypass, but Grant Thompson in control at the moment. There's numbers 85, so time for numbers here. Bigger group here, 77, 68, 88, 31 and 26 in that order, but Grant Thompson extending that advantage, as I was saying, as number 60, Roger Whibley, comes through in the lead. Grant Thompson, to you, Tim.
To see the 1 machine across the railway bridge. There's your race leader, number 44, Grant Thompson. And I'll wager to say it's going to be a bigger lead than the 8 seconds or so we had at the end of the last lap. Indeed it is. It's 10.390. There's 45, Andrew Farrell across. And there's 0, Andy Hornby. But 83, Keith Pringle, is closing in a little bit on Hornby there. There's 82 and 96. That's Andy McAllister in 5th and Damien Crook in 6th. One more machine into our sights, number 100. And moving up into 7th place there is Heffernan Owen. 6, Adrian Harrison is through as well, as is 74, Scott Wilson. There's 85, Neil Champion. 77, Neil Rutledge. 68, 88, 26, 31 and 60, as quick as that. 68th being Roddy Taylor in 12th, 88 Leon Donaghy in 13th, 14th 26 Dennis Booth, 15th 31 Colin Croft, 16th number 60 Roger Wibberley, and 17th number 12 Richard Ford. 10.390 seconds the lead for the local man, number 44 Grant Thompson, looking for his second win of the meeting, ahead of number 45 Andrew Farrell in second. And let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, searching for his second victory here, and of course gearing up for what looks set to be his Manx Grand Prix debut on the mountain course later this summer as well. Here he is, the Port St Mary rider, number 44, Grant Thompson, just continuing to extend that lead at the moment at Cross Four Ways on this fourth lap, the penultimate lap of the race. But that battle for third looks to be the interesting one at the moment. If we just heard from Tim before, as number 45, Andrew Farrell, arrives still in second place at the moment here at Cross Four Ways. There is number 0, Andy Hornby, arriving at Cross Four Ways, and just a couple of seconds back is number 83 Keith Pringle at the moment, so that's maybe not done and dusted just yet. Number 82 Andy McAllister now arrives, and right on his heels is number 96 Damien Crook. So a couple of little battles developing towards that front five, those first machines that are on the way through, so no change in the order as it stands from what it was at Cross Four Ways on the previous lap. Two more machines here in number 100 Heffernan, number 6 Adrian Harrison, who's caught Owen a little bit here on the run to Cross Four Ways, number 74 Scott Wilson, also keeping tabs on that duo in front of him as well. So Adrian Harrison maybe looking to claw back and give it a ground. Big group into Cross Four Ways. To you, Tim.
Yet to see a bike across the bridge and now emerges over the hill. 44 Grant Thompson, he's got the last lap flag there as he crossed the line, so he's out on his final lap looking for a further victory here at the 2025 Blackford Pre-TT Classic. Here's second. That's 45 Andrew Farrell, 16.3 seconds down now. This is getting tight for third. There was Andy Hornby, and quickly pursued there by number 83 Keith Pringle. 82 Andy McAllister in 5th, and 96 Damien Crook is in 6th position. More bikes streaming across the railway bridge there, and will be coming over the crest of School Hill and into our sights. The last lap flag on display. 3 machines here. And that was number 6 Adrian Harrison, 74 Scott Wilson, and 100 Heffin Owen. There's 85 and 68. That's Neil Champion and Roddy Taylor. 4 just through. We'll give you the names in a bit. 2 more. So that was Dennis Booth, number 26, 77 Neil Rutledge, 88 Leon Donaghy, 31 Colin Croft, 12 Richard Ford, and 60 Roger Wibberley. So Grant Thompson, quickest lap was lap 2. He's comfortably ahead on his last lap. Is it going to be victory again for the Port St Mary rider, Rob?
Yeah, here we go. Here's the machine coming towards Cross Four Ways for the final time in the post-classic senior superbike race. Number 44, Grant Thompson, as it stands, currently on course to take his second victory of the meeting as he roars off towards Church Bends again. Do wonder just how damp it is on the exit there. They do have the wet tyres on to accommodate for that, but he is continuing to stretch that advantage that we've already been seeing. It was 16 seconds up at the start-finish line to this man, number 45, Andrew Farrell, but this one for the third looks to be going down to the wire. Number 0, Andy Hornby. Number 83, Keith Pringle, is right on his tail here as those two go through Cross Four Ways. Number 82, Andy McAllister, and number 96, Damien Crook as well on the way through Cross Four Ways there. We did just hear a machine. It just sounded like the engine cut out there, so that might be a retirement on the exit of Cross Four Ways as they continue onwards here. But number 44, Grant Thompson, is continuing to extend that advantage from when number 45, Andrew Farrell, arrived at Cross Four Ways. But that battle for third, keep an eye out for that. Andy Hornby and Keith Pringle. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, bike coming round Castletown corner and into view. He's looking behind as well. He's got time to raise both his arms in the air. A second win of the week for the Port St Mary rider. Grant Thompson takes the victory. And boy, did he look chuffed with that victory. But we're going to hang on and see who's going to be second, and more importantly, who's going to be third. And who's going to miss out and be fourth. because it's been a commanding victory there for Grant Thompson. Oh, there's a real job on for third. Oh, Hornby hangs on. Keith Pringle was trying to get up the inside there, but Hornby hold on there. 45, Andrew Farrell is in second, so it's 44. Grant Thompson with the win, Farrell in second, and Hornby just getting third. Down to you, Chris Kinley.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Keith Pringle is kind of kicking himself there, because I thought you might have had him as well. Just looking at tyres, we were discussing this, Chris Palmer about it, yeah. They won't really destroy the wets, to be fair. These all look pretty good to me anyway. But Andy Farrell, third place last year, second place for this year. But Grant Thompson is the winner. 2 wins at the Billown circuit now in this meeting, 3 in total. And, well, Andy Farrell got a good start, didn't he? First of all, well done, Grant.
Oh, thanks very much. That's absolutely brilliant. I didn't expect that, coming in there. The conditions before we started, it's enough to fry your head. It's raining, it's drying, it's that. And Andy got a good start, and I thought, right, I knew the Ducati was going to be quick. I knew it, so I had to make sure I kept him honest, all the way through. And Iron Gate on the first lap, it's like he stopped or something, and then got going again. And then I got a good drive out the bomb hole, and I seen him move towards the left and into cross 4 ways. I thought, I'm going, so I literally did everything I could to hold it off, and I managed to stick it and get going. But it was hard work out there, the track's drying rapidly. I could feel the rear on the back on that last 2 laps. I thought this is going off. So, but
it's not broken up or anything. It's stayed in one piece, but you could feel it start to move around.
Yeah, I could feel it sliding, especially just after Battle of Whetstone through that left-hander. It was lively to say the least. But I want to say a massive thank you to Paul Duckett and John Grimshaw of Duckshaw Racing for supplying me with this.
Duckshaw Racing.
Supplying me with this absolute weapon. It's been faultless all week. First night we put it on pole in the wet, and then yesterday to qualify third in the dry after really the second proper time of having a go. So a big thank you to all them and all the team. Without everyone it wouldn't be possible.
Is there a history behind this bike? Do you know who's ridden it before and stuff like that?
The man stood over there.
It's Duck Road. Is this his Duck's old bike, is it?
This is his old bike.
Might have to change the suspension settings a bit for you, though. Sorry, Paul.
Nah, it's bang on, Thanks to the boys and all the team. It was a great race.
Yeah, well done, mate. Congratulations. Well done, Team Duckshaw. That's brilliant. I love that. That's great. Oh, here we are. No swearing now, you.
Yeah, I got that all out when I came in, yeah.
So, talk us through the race. Grant reckons your bike stopped at one point, did it? Or was it, you have a few problems?
Every road end it was stopping. So I was having to... I could get it going on the clutch most times, but then a couple of corners the last lap I was just cross 4 ways. Yeah. It just died. I said, start, come on, press the start button. And it did eventually start. Now, I didn't know how close he was behind me. Yeah.
You had a fair gap, you're all right.
Yeah. But look, we got here. It's a battle with that thing. It's a great bike. It has so much potential, but just to try and get it right, like it's Italian, it's not a Japanese bike. You know what I mean? It's like an Italian woman, contrary, But it's look, fair play to the guys. They got the bike here, and we made big changes. Massive thanks to Andy Grimshaw for fitting us in and helping us out with some other stuff. Hello to my mum at home, who's definitely listening and has rosary beads flat out. Yeah, look, I'm just happy to be back in the podium.
Third last year, second this year, first next year?
I don't know. We'll see. You can never tell. I was hoping for a dry race. I was really set for a dry race, but
got a good start.
Yeah, I just got the head down. There's great grunt low down with that thing, so I knew I'd get a good start, and I knew Grant is it with you. I knew he'd be good in the wet. But once he went by me, and I tried to stick with him, and I went, oh my God, in through Iron Gates, and I had no idea what was behind me. And will I pull in or not, and then fired up again. I says, I'll keep on going. Look, I'm really happy to be here. It's a massive thanks to the Orange Army out there. People overlook them very easily. They're out there persevering the weather, the conditions, the rain, the cold, the wind. They did have the sun earlier on. You know what I mean?
I never started snow yet, though.
No snow yet. But yeah, and a massive thanks to the club, the organisation. It's a fantastic run event, and I love being here.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Andy Farrell. Cheers, other mate.
Cheers, thanks, guys.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers. And let's have a quick word. Andy Hornby gets that third place. Hey, Keith was chasing you down. Keith Pringle.
I know he was. I looked over my shoulder and I saw him there, and then I thought we were done. There's an extra lap then. I'm not being done very good with my laps this weekend. I know. So I was like, oh no, and the tyre was absolutely shot, because it was almost a dry race really. So everybody was struggling a little bit. The bike was sideways, but it's good fun out there. So I'm happy to, really happy to get a podium. It's great news.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Well done, Andy Hornby, in third position. So, folks, this is the Ugly & Co. Post Classic Senior Superbikes. We've got the Sidecars up next, and representative from Ugly like to go up onto the podium and do the presentation, please. Ladies and gentlemen, in third position, 0, Andy Hornby. So the green hat goes on his head. In second position, riding the number 45, Andrew Farrell. And a second win at the meeting for number 44, Grant Thompson. So Dave Smart from Blackford's and the team are up there doing the presentation for this. So well done to Andy Hornby, well done to Andy Farrell, and well done to our race winner, Grant Thompson. Tim, back to you to tidy up on this one, and we'll get set for the final race of the day.
Thank you, Chris. So that was your top three. In fourth was 83, Keith Pringle. Fifth was number 82, Andy McAllister. Sixth, number 96, Damien Crooks. Seventh, number 74, Scott Wilson. Eighth, number 6, Adrian Harrison. Ninth, number 100, Heffin Owen. 10th, number 85, Neil Champion. 11th, number 68, Roddy Taylor. 12th, number 26, Dennis Booth. 13th, number 77, Neil Rutledge. 14th, number 88, Liam Donaghy. 15th, number 31, Colin Croft. 16th, number 12, Richard Ford. 17th, number 60, Roger Wibberley. 18th, number 93, that was Rob Mitchell-Hill. And in 19th was number 52, Brian Clark. So a second win. We are starting to see a few repeat winners down here at this year's meeting. But Grant Thompson, the Port St Mary youngster, getting his second victory, and well done indeed to him. Well, just one more race to go, and that is was due away at 4:40, so we're not far away from being still on schedule. The roads don't have to reopen until 6 o'clock at the latest, but it is the last race here, and will be the Sidecar. So we're going to see the chairs back out there. It's the Cheeston Rentals Sidecar Classic Race 2, and the non-starters in your programme. Pages 58. It is page 58 and 59 for this race. Non-starters are number 1, so no Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale. Number 23, no Mike Cookson and Indy de Koppel. And no number 46. So no Andy Nourish and Rob Child, although I'm pretty sure they're on the grid here. So that's one to keep an eye on again to see if 46 is out on the grid or not. So your pole position on the front row is the winners of the Sidecar Race 1. That's number 56, Vermeulen and Klinker. Behind them will be the team that finished in second, Noel and Hook. 69, Lambert and Haynes are also on the second row. On the third row, it's Quirk and Reeves, number 11. Fourth row is number 24, Thurkel and Morley, and number 51, Bauman and Klinker. Fifth row is number 30, Howells and Kopok. Sixth row, Nourish and Child. We'll wait and see on that, number 46. And number 67, that's Warner and Dawkins. Seventh row is number 29, Pope and Christopher. And the eighth row is number 9, Wright and Johnson. And 66, Crowfell and Pills. And number 64, Christian and Hardesty are then at the back on row 9. Just to remind you of that first race that we had, as another train goes past, as you could hear it whistling to everybody here, giving a nice little greeting there. Race 4 it was, the podium was completed by Thurkel and Morley it was that got on there. It was Vermeulen and Klinker ahead of Noel and De Hook, and Thurkel and Morley. And that was reduced to 3 laps as the course car just speeds past us here on the start and finish line. And I'll just look to the team around me here. Is this still 4 laps? Or, yep, still, we believe, 4 laps. We'll get that confirmed Yep, I'm getting the thumbs up, so I haven't had to squiggle out the last lap on our programmes here today. Well, let's get the atmosphere ahead of this final race of a very eventful 2025 Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic and rejoin Chris Kinley.
Yes, the Cheesden Rental Sidecar Classic Race 2, number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. Will be rolling into their grid position. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Really nice. The Bellis Vincent, the Rob Bellis frame, the Vincent engine. 69, Greg Lambert. He'll be hoping that chain has been triple padlocked on and won't jump off again for Greggy. Gives us a bit of a wink. And well, Greg goes past, actually. I think it's quite apt that a man who's such a big fan of the Scarborough Road races, that we should really remember the commentator from Scarborough, Tony Copeland, who passed away recently in the course there. Tony was the voice of Scarborough for many years, and just that distinctive voice, that kind of like the people like Jeff Cannell and Peter Neal and Maurice Morsey and the old mate George McCann, just all distinctive voices. And we remember Tony, and I'm sure anybody here that went to Scarborough would remember his somewhat colourful descriptions of some of the races there over the years. Oil on the circuit, there's a small patch of oil over Castletown corner. Okay, so they've got to look out for that on the Castletown Bridge. Yeah, so remember Tony Copeland with fondness. So we're just about ready to go with the chairs. Switch on the red light. 56 looking to repeat that win from the other day. 56, of course, Marvin Vermeulen and the newcomer passenger Troy Clinker. They'll be hoping to do the double. The crew just behind them, number 21 Sepp Noel and Kobe De Hoek. They were second, and in third place was, of course, 23 24 Tony Thurkel and William Morley. So the gate is now open. Confirmed 4-lap distance for these guys and girls, and they are away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 11, I think it is. So the outfits are making their way around a rapidly drying bypass here on the Southern 100 circuit. Let's head back to Cross 4 race for the final time this afternoon for the race, final sidecar race. Rob.
Yeah, indeed, the three-wheelers to conclude what's been a bit of a roller coaster pre-TT Classic. We've had everything that Mother Nature has tried to throw at us, haven't we? And looking out onto the road for this 4-lap race, the full distance, as we were just getting confirmation there from Tim Glover over at Race Control as well. And remember as well, it was the Continental newcomers that really shone in that first race, that really wet and dark race it was, wasn't it, on the last night with Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. Troy Clinker and newcomer passenger, and then the newcomer duo of Sepp Noel and Kobe De Hoek second, Tony Thurkel and William Morley taking the final podium place. And then some distance back was number 11 Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves in fourth, and then it was Alan Warner and Tim Dawkins, number 67 outfit, in fifth. Sixth in the first sidecar race was Adam Pope and John Christopher on the Sit-Up and Beg Triton Westlake, the number 29 outfit. And in seventh, it was Albert Krutfel and newcomer passenger Eliza Piltz. And completing the field was number 64, Juan Christian and Julie Hardesty. We did hear from Chris just before, again, if you missed it, when they were talking about Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes' machine, a retirement in the first race after the chain snap. So I'm sure they'll have been working on that to get that sorted for today's race. Third on the grid they are for this race, as they were in the first one as well. We can hear them whirring away in the distance as it has really dried out here on the approach to Cross Four Ways. But of course, again, that little caveat, it could be a very different story. We can't see from our vantage point here, even with a look over the shoulder, what the surface is like under that canopy on the exit across Four Ways. Here comes the travelling marshal. So here we are, the sighting lap for the final race. Here were your previous winners, Vermeulen and Klinker, and then it's Noel and De Hoek straight in behind them as well. Then four more machines. We've got Lambert and Haynes, Quirk and Reeves, Thurkel and Morley, and then number 51, Cobus Baumann and Nikolai Klinker as well. So those are your latest three-wheel machines through Cross Four Ways. And then a gap in the field as it stands there. So it is going to be interesting to see how they cope with the more wet conditions. They've got used to that, I guess, over time. Here come your remaining outfits on the way through. You can't miss the sound of this one. Albert Krutfel and Eliza Piltz on the Kurt BMW, Pope and Christopher. Then we've got Christian and Hardesty, and number 64. Yeah, 64 due Christian Julie Hardest in the back of that group there, with the two travelling marshals on the way through and the course inspection car as well. So for the final time for this 2025 Pre-TT Classic Road Races meeting, the convoy has come past us here at Cross Four Ways on the sighting lap. 4 laps in store of this Sidecar Classic Race 2. Will it be the newcomers that excel again, or can the experience in behind? Remember, Quirk and Reeves, winners from last year as well. Lambert and Haynes, an experienced pairing out there, I think it's fair to say. And of course, they'll be switching commitments soon onto their F2 at TT in the next few days. Here we go. Final race about to get underway. Over to you, Tim.
Well, you say for the last time, Rob, but remember what happened on our second race here today. Hopefully we won't get a repeat of that, and we won't need to slow everything down and have another warm-up lap and get the race underway. We can get it done first time here as the sidecars make their way behind the marshal, who will peel in here now at the club HQ. There's number 56 on pole for Mullen and Clinker. 21 behind is Noel and De Hook, and also I can see Lambert and Haynes are in position. Number 11, Quirk and Reeves have got there too. Thurkel and Morley still to come into position behind. More still trundling down the hill into their positions, including that 29 outfit, the sit-up and beg machine of Pope and Christopher. Marshals, 2 travelling marshals at the top of the hill, and the car, the headlights very bright, bit of darker cloud in that weather direction as well, so hopefully we'll get this race completed before that weather comes into play again, if indeed it's going to hit us here. It's very hit and miss. There we go, lights, watch the lights everybody. So we're about to get underway, and away we go, and it's a good start by the man in pole. Let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Eyes on the front, keep your eyes to front at all times. Somebody weaving from left to right. Is that Danny Quirk on the 11? It is. The 2-time winner here is actually pulled, and Danny Quirk, it looks like Danny Quirk has got to the lead, so 11 and 56 as they went past us, but Danny Quirk, he means business in this one.
Wow, that is some start from the third row by Quirk and Reeves, getting alongside and ahead of the leaders, number 56 for Mullen and Clinker, who actually got away very well indeed. Now there is a little bit of dust and oil has been spilled up at Castletown Corner. It's been marked with dust, and the competitors have been made aware of that situation, and a lack of adhesion flag will be shown. And just while we're dealing with that, just a big thank you again to remind you from the Chief Marshal, Dewan Crawley. A big thank you to all the marshals and medics for everything that they've done in all weathers at this year's meeting, and also a thank you to the Whistle Stop Cafe and the Siding Pub for the very much appreciated packed lunches. So glad to put that again. We did mention it earlier this afternoon, but just in case you missed it, a very big thank you indeed to all our very brave and hardy marshals to deal with some of the conditions they've had to endure this year. Let's go to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, bring the noise of the three-wheeled machines. Here we go, and out in front, across Four Ways on the opening lap is for Mullen and Clinker, from Lambert and Haynes, from Quirk and Reeves, and then Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hook. Then it's Thurman and Morley, and then it's number 51, Cobus Bauman and Nikolai Clinker. So Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker lead across Four Ways. We heard of that brilliant start from Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, but they've dropped back. It's now Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes who've moved up into second here as the number 67 outfit of Alan Warner, and Tom Dawkins arrives at Cross Four Ways as well. Then it's number 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. There's a hand up for the number 64 outfit, so that looks like a retirement here across Four Ways. Number 66 on the way through, Krupfel and Pilz, but it was Vermeulen and Clinker leading across Four Ways. There is potentially a retirement here, we'll just have to wait and see. The number 64 outfit, there was a hand up in the air. We'll just have to wait for confirmation on that. But Vermeulen and Klinker leading from Lambert and Haynes through cross four ways. Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves after that blinding start into the whole shot that we saw, dropping back to you, Tim.
Sounds like there's been some dramatic overtakings taking place. Two machines come into our view. 56 and 69, so that is Vermeulen and Klinker ahead of Lambert and Hayes. There's 11 and there's 21, so that's Quirk and Reeves ahead of Noel and De Hook. And 51 has gone through as well. That's Bowman and Klinker. So pretty tight still there at the top. 0.8 between the two leading machines, numbers 56 and 69. As we see more machines emerging at the top of the hill and crossing the railway bridge there. That is number 67 through. That is Warner and Dawkins. And here's the sit-up and beg affair. 29 safely through. That's Pope and Christopher. So it is number 56 for Vermeulen and Klinker. 3 minutes 6.219 seconds on that lap. They lead by just 0.809 ahead of number 69. That's Lambert and Haynes. In third, around about 5.4 seconds back, is number 11. That's Quirk and Reeves, but they're in very close attendance with number 21. That is Noel and De Hook, the newcomers who finished second in the first race. Then it's 24, Thurkel and Morley. 51 is Kovas Bauman and Klinker, and Nikolai Klinker. 67, that is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins. They're in 7th. In 8th, it's number 29. 29 being Adam Pope and John Christopher. Let's go back to Robert Cross four ways.
Here come your race leaders, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker. They've opened up a little bit of an extra gap to number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes here. So Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker have opened the gap just a little bit more to Lambert and Haynes. A trio of three-wheelers on the way in here. Quirk and Reeves, Thurkel and Morley, and 21 is Noel and De Hook as well. That's a great battle for their place at the moment as number 51, Kovas Bauman and Nikolai Klinker make their way through cross four ways as well. So it is still Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker leading the way. They just seem to have extended the gap a little bit as we approach halfway distance to number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes as well. And there is an almighty battle there for third as well. Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, and then Tony Thurkel and William Morley right on their coattails, as is number 21, Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook as well. So a great battle going on. Just a reminder as well, we did have a retirement on the previous lap, and that was the number 64 outfit, Dewan Christian and Julie Hardesty here at Cross Four Ways. Another outfit emerges towards us a little bit way behind that battling trio, the number 67 outfit. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, just an outfit spotted, and a little bit more. Oh no, there's still that second outfit there. But it's a bigger advantage, 1.903, that Martin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker have over Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. That is a battle. Up into third now is number 24. 24, of course, is Tony Thurkel and William Morley. In fourth place is number 11, and that's Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. In fifth place now is number 21, Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook. And the last outfit through here was number 51 in sixth position. And 51 is Kovas Bauman and Nikolai Klinker. They're on that lovely Westlake machine, the pair from Barneveld. So 1.9 advantage then for the winners, looking to make it and double up here. 86.145 miles per hour they've managed to put in. 85.617 is the lap time for Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. Another outfit comes into view. That is number 67, Alan Warner and Tony Hawkins. Alan Warner from Peel and Tom Dawkins from Biggin Hill. And here's the sit-up and bag machine. Number 29 still circulating. That's Adam Pope and John Christopher. The pairing from Chorley. Well, is it going to be a repeat win? Let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Have to wait and see. Here we go. Penultimate lap of this race and of the Pre-TT Classic for 2025. Here is Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker still holding that advantage over 69. Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. So no change in the front two. Here across four ways. It is still Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker out front, currently chasing what would be 2 wins in 2 in the Sidecar Classic class. Here is that big battle for third. Thurkel and Morley currently leading the way from number 21, Noel and De Hook, who are looking up the inside. Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. I think that's an overtake there from number 21 outfit. Let's have a look. I think indeed it is. So the passenger duo, the newcomer passenger duo, moving up into third at cross four ways. Here's number 51, Cobus Bauman and Nikolai Klinker through cross four ways as well, a little behind that battling trio. But the number 24 outfit, as we mentioned there, Tony Thurkel and William Morley, who were up to third at the start finish, just overtaken there by the newcomer pairing of Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook up into third, chasing another podium. They finished second, don't forget, in the previous race as well. After that, there's a big old gap in the road to those machines that we've just seen through there. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, we're looking for our leaders to come through and head out onto the last lap of this race, and indeed the meeting. Slightly closer, maybe. No, 2.087, pretty much as it was there between Vermeulen and Klinker and Greg Lambert and Haynes. So who's going to be in third? Sounds like they've been having a right dust up for third here, which is great to see. And 3 machines come into our view. 24, 21 and 11. So up third is still 24 as it was at the end of the last lap. So that's Thurkel and Morley. 21. That is Sep Noel and De Hook. And then in a 5th place, number 11. And that is Quirk and Reeves, the pairing from Halifax and Chesterfield. Number 51 has been through as well. They're in 6th position of the 6 machines that have gone through. Cobus Bauman and Nikolai Klinker. So 2.087. They both went quickest on that last lap. Both over the 86, knocking on 87 miles per hour. 56 was at 86.917. Lambert and Haynes were at 86.826 miles per hour. So they're certainly building speed as we head now onto this last lap of this last race, the Cheesden Rentals Sidecar Classic Race 2. Who's going to be third? That's going to be the big question. But still a question, only 2 seconds. It's not in the comfort zone, really. Let's go out to cross four ways for the last time. And Rob Pritchard.
I've just been listening to that Kurt BMW of Kurtful and Pilts coming through. You can probably hear that from Ramsey. Here we go, last lap. It's Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker again leading across four ways on the final lap to number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. By my reckoning, from the previous lap, there doesn't seem to have been much change in the gap that we have seen. So maybe that 2-second cushion still there for Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker from number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. But they seem to have opened up an even bigger gap to that trio that was in behind. Thurkel and Morley had got themselves back to third last time. It's now number 21, Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook up into third here, ahead of Thurkel and Morley, who've now got Quirk and Reeves on their tail as well. So somewhere along that line between the start and finish across four ways, Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook back up into third in that final podium spot, ahead of number 24, Tony Thurkel and William Morley, who are now holding off the advances of number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, dropping a few seconds further back. Number 51, Cobus Bauman and Nikolai Klinker as well. They're through cross four ways on this final lap. That battle for third going right to the wire. To you, Tim.
Yeah, I think we've got a lower order rider first, and then it should be our race winners. I've seen another outfit cross the bridge. And here they are. They've doubled up, clenched fist, punch of the air as they cross the line and away from the second crew as well. So it's 56 doubling up. Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker on that triumph. And in second, number 69 being Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. The pairing from Scotton and Hull. We'll just wait on and see who's in third. Two across the road together. Oh my goodness, by the slenderest of margins, he got ahead. 24, Tony Thurkel and William Morley. What a finish to racing down here at the Motor Oil Billown Course. Chris Kinley.
Yeah, just ahead of number 21 there, Sepp Noel, who's making his debut at the Manx Grand Prix as a solo newcomer next year, the driver of 21. But it is another win and a double for 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Tony Klinker. And we'll get in and have a word with them this time, get him hot off the press. Well done, sir, a double, 2 wins, fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic indeed.
A good start, though, by number 11, Danny Quirk off the line. You two going up to there first. Talk us through that overtake.
Yeah, I saw him come past by me, and it was very close into the first corner.
How close?
Very close.
But good fun. And dry, nice and dry.
Yeah, nice and dry. Went very good. Thank you.
So is this you coming back next year again to the Isle of Man, hopefully?
We never know.
Oh, we never know. We like that. Well done, man. Well done. Thank you. So the passenger, is it good? Good fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Loads of fun. Yeah. Quite a lot faster than yesterday. But,
and a good start by outfit 11 off the line, and you had to get past him.
I didn't expect that to be happening, but wow, what a race.
Well done. 2 wins, fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done. So well done. Thank you very much. And Greg Lambert's here. Well done to the place. And here he is, smiley Greggy.
Oh dear, that's took a long time to get. I never thought I'd break my duck, you know. It was like we're right on his tail and whatnot, but I wish I was that young again, you know, to go through the back and a bit naughty. And I've got a bigger picture next week, you know. I enjoyed that. It was great, and we made a bit of a scrap. And fair play to the young man, you know, he's drove really well there. But the imp's a big lump, you know what I mean? It's a big engine through the corners and things, and obviously he's 900, I think it's got to be a 900. That had more power at the top. It's a lot bigger. But through the corners and things, it was a lot more nimble, you know. And they're 2 young lads, and credit to them, you know, for what they've done. But I'm over the moon for being on here, Chris, I can tell you.
And you got the fastest lap of the race as well.
Have I?
So I've just been told, yeah.
Oh, that makes it sweet then. Fastest lap. I want to thank James, the lad who's been helping me all week at the grandstand, you know, getting these bikes ready and things. And it's just, yeah, thanks to everybody that's helped us to come here as well. And let's hope it might continue now for next week at TT.
Let's hope
you
so.
know.
And how was the ballast going? Was he all right?
Yeah, he's done a grand job. We get on so well. He's done a fabulous job there. You know, it's good to have a fatty in sometimes, do you know what I mean? He's trained all winter, he's put all these muscles on, and I'm trying to find horsepower. But do you know what? That was the perfect combination just then. Yeah. So, yeah, hey, good day. It's rounded off. I was a bit despondent this morning because I've just tried my heart out for so many years, you know, just to try and pull this one off. But, you know, that's not going to get touched now till next year, and it's going to be saved just for this. So I wasn't going to come back. I must admit, I did say if I don't get a finish this time, I've worn my heart on my sleeve to do this meeting. Maybe enough's enough, but do you know what? I'll be back.
You'll be back. Good man. And Andy, how was that then? Okay?
Yeah, it was excellent.
How do you stand all the ribbon he gives you, by the way, first off?
Well, to be honest, I'm actually going a bit deaf, so that sort of helps, to be honest. But no, it did sort of give and take, so and it's good, and we balance each other out well, both on the bike and off the bike. So yeah, all good.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Thanks very much,
fellas. Well done. Let's get over to the guys. Just doing a bit of chat with the 3-wheeling guys there now. So well done to Greg, and well done to Andy getting that second position. Let's go and have a word with 2 third place. Let him just finish off with the 3-wheeling chaps. Tony, how was that? Hey, you and that young man having a belter. Just don't swear.
Flipping heck. That was close. I think it was 0 point something of a second.
Hardly anything.
I just out-dragged him to the line. We passed each other twice on last lap.
Whereabouts?
Somewhere over there.
Love it.
And then he left his braking a bit late into Castletown Corner. And he went down inside to block me, left it a bit late, drifted out wide. I cut in front of him, then he cut in front of me, coming down to start-finish, and I just managed to out-drag him before we got to the checkered flag. He's had more out at corners, but mine was more top speed when he got rolling. But what a race.
Hey,
what a race.
No, a lot of hard work goes into this, and 2 podiums, William. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. He just drove brilliantly, is what I'm going to say. He's not bad for an old codger.
Have you got your bus pass yet, though?
No, that's too far the other road.
I'll
start going to blooming garden centres on a Sunday and things like that.
What do you mean start?
Hey, what are you giving it, you?
You get your B&Q discount card.
Thanks very
Sorry,
much.
mate. Greggy says he's coming back next year. Are you coming back next year with this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well done, boys. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. So there we go. The top 3 in the second sidecar race down here at the Motor Isle Billown circuit. And Tony goes straight up to see the winning driver there, Marvin Vermeulen. We'll just wait for him, the 3-wheeling guys, just to finish their interviews. And, you know, they always have a good crowd. They're all smiling. They're straight up to say well done to everybody. And William O'Reilly's just gone straight up again to the passenger there. And it's kind of like the goalkeepers at football, isn't it? They have the passengers union. I think that's what they have, isn't it? That's what it is. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just about finished, are they? The three-wheeling guys. And we'll get underway with this final podium presentation. You're not going to speak again, are you? Oh, Greg's talking. I know, yeah. They're going to do an extended show. That's what they're going to do. There we go. There you go. Well done, guys. There we go. All done. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the final presentation for the Cheesden Rentals Sidecar race number 2. Who's doing the presentation, George? Oh, the guys from Blackford, yeah. So, representatives from Blackford's. Okay, William and Tony, you ready to go? Ladies and gentlemen, in third place, number 24, Tony Thurkle and William Morley. Well done, guys. Their second podium of the weekend. Well done to the guys. Get a shake of the hand from the young lady and get the green hats on. In second place, didn't finish in the first one, but he's finished and he will be back. So he says, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. Well done to the guys. Greg, of course, a former sidecar champion around here in the July event. And the double for number 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. Well done, boys. Brilliant stuff. Well done to them all. So there we go. The shot. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just move over a little bit, just get out of the way, just in case the champagne comes out. So there we go, folks. The podium, the top 3, right next to the radio. That's typical. The top 3. Number 24, Tony Thurkle and William Morley. Second for Greg Lambert and Andy Haynes. And your race winner with a double, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. And we'll hand back to the start line.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley. Don't forget the prize presentation will be held in Castletown in the Market Square this evening. It starts at 7:30. Go and show your support and chat to the competitors and enjoy a beer in the ancient capital. Roads remain closed, just a reminder, until the Roads Open car has gone through, so do not venture onto the course until the Roads Open car has gone past. So let's sum up the 2025 Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Race meeting and our winners, the MSPR singles winners, Will Loader and Barry Davidson. The Foraging Vintners 1100cc, Alan Oversby. The Jeff Duke Junior Superbike, Grant Thompson. The MC Locksmith Sidecar Race 1, Vermeulen and Clinker. The Greystones 500cc Senior, Alan Oversby. Words and Spaces 250cc and 125cc Post Classic, Owen Monaghan. Vintage MCC Isle of Man Section 350cc Junior, Joe Yeardsley. The Fred Peck 400cc, Alan Oversby. The Ugly Post Classic Senior Superbike, Grant Thompson. And the Cheesden Rentals Sidecar Race 2, Vermeulen and Clinker. Thanks as we close to the Manx public, to spectators, competitors, sponsors, the Southern 100 Club, Clerk of the Course Giles Ollie and the race organising team, marshals, scrutineers, all the volunteers that just make this happen, medics, caterers, to Trish and the team and those at the clubhouse and in the mobile units, and Phil Edge for all his work with the media. The Manx Radio Motorsport team, producers Alex Brindley and Beth Espy, Simon Quine and Ben Hartley, engineers Ed Rickson and Matty Cunningham, and commentators Rob Pritchard and Chris Kinley. We will be back for the Isle of Man Steam Packet Southern 100 on the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th of July. Come and join us at the Friendly Racers. For the final time at this year's Blackford's Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Racers, stay safe and enjoy the next 2 weeks. I'm Tim Glover. Let's hand back to Broadcasting House.